people, the masses, in a corner, that the only way they can forcefully get their mandate is for them to use money to bribe them. And so what I'm saying is that Peter Obi has been a partaker in vote buying, using money and the likes to buy people's votes and conscience. So he definitely won't be against it. He's definitely going to advocate for his supporters to go for it and still, vote for him in one way. These people, they don't have principles. They don't have, so you don't really expect anything contrary. You don't really expect anything much from them. Like, that's how I feel most times. So I'm not really surprised in any way.
Let me ask you a question. So create the scenario for me. If someone is hungry and they, although you're not an obedient and you're not the person who is subscribing to this, but help explain to me, if someone goes and collects this money, what kind of dialogue would that person be having with their conscience from when they went to collect the money and when they go to vote? And how do you imagine they will eventually cast their vote?
Yeah, Dr. Chidi, the thing is, the situation on ground now, a lot of people are not thinking. That's the truth. I've actually interacted with a lot of voters, potential voters in my environment. So most of them are not thinking like you and I are thinking. Their conscience doesn't prick them. Well, in fact, let me give you a scenario. I know of this group where I like run my business. I know of this group of women that they call themselves free independent campaign group. So what they do is that they campaign for different politicians. So they collect money from APC, from PDP, from SDP. So they call themselves. They are not like they don't belong to any party. So people just use people that do things like that. Their conscience doesn't prick them. In fact, most of them believe that they've taken their own share of the national cake. Exactly. So most of them are actually very proud and happy that the election did just come and go. At least they had a share. They took a bite from the national cake. That is the mentality of most of the electorates that do this. And most of the bottom line factor is usually poverty. They just trying to meet their immediate need. They're not looking long term, or trying to see the consequences of their action, in years to come, or how it's going to affect them or their children. No, they're not thinking. They are not.
So eventually,
Yeah.
eventually, it doesn't affect how they eventually vote. Is that what you're saying? Like, they just collect the money at that level, but it doesn't really determine how they vote.
Yeah, a lot of times the politicians are not stupid. Like during campaigning, they give out money, right? But when it comes down to the real election, like on election day, money that are going to be shared are probably going to be done with a lot of strict monitoring. Like, they are going to ask you if they want to see an evidence. If they want to see an evidence of you actually voting, maybe you use your phone to actually snap. If they are doing the closed ballot voting system, they want in cases where it's an open ballot system, they will actually have a representative, maybe their polling agents, that will escort you to the ballot box and actually make sure that you thumbprint for your candidates before they give you the money. So that's how it works, Dr.
Do you know why I wanted it to get to this point. I don't want anybody to start quarreling. Like I said, I'm expecting people to just come and explain. Let us paint this scenario. You see what you just said now? Some people don't understand it. You see what you just said now? It's like when I tell people that, oh, I hear that your principal, like, sorry, I'm coming back to Labour Party. I hear that your principal is meeting these people and meeting. Oh, no, Dr. Chidi, that thing is just a trick to deceive them. When he gets into power, he's going to be tough. He will do this, he will do that. I'm like, so you, from the onset, you are actually calling this other person a fool. Like, you are doing something openly. In the open, you are doing something publicly, and only you is wise, and the other person is stupid. The other person is a fool. You think, like, how does that work? How can you tell me that you and your principal are the only ones that are wise, and the people that you're deceiving don't know you're deceiving them? It's not true. It doesn't work that way. So when you now mention this, it's a very good point that you've brought out. They don't realize that the person you are advising, you are actually endangering this person's life. You need to know what happens on that very election day. Somebody will give you their money on election day, and you think you're wise. You think you think that person is foolish. They don't have ways of knowing that you voted or you didn't vote. Let me keep it there. I see that we have other speakers. I have lights. Let me see. Yeah, I have at lights and okay. At light, I see you. If you want to unmute yourself and speak, okay. And then Dr. Ola after.
Dr. Shidi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Well done. I think getting close to the election, if one happens,
that's another big one.
These are discussions that we're supposed to be discussing, right? But so quickly, I want to say that this statement actually carries two assumptions, which is really bad. You know, one is that for them to have said, they assume that Nigerians are corrupted people, that they don't have conscience, so they could collect money and then do otherwise. That assumption is not true. Nigerians are conscious people. We have few of them that could do that, because you already assume that Nigerians behave like politicians for you to say, collect money and vote for your candidate. That's the assumption number one. Assumption number two is also that you are saying the political elite are stupid, that somebody can just play them. Those two assumptions are very, in fact, if you understand Nigerian politics and you do a little bit of, with respect to, probably you've seen 1, 2, 3 elections in Nigeria, you know that those two assumptions doesn't hold. Nigerians voters, I mean, those ones that we normally depend on when it comes to election, I mean the old one, the people who are at the polling unit base, they are trustworthy voters. If they collect money from you, these are people that believe in God, they believe in consequences and all that. It is very hard for them to do otherwise in the first place. So, which means that first assumption is not true. You're not talking to regular politicians. You're not talking to your in quotes normal thief who come out to tell you this and then go inside the meeting and decide on nothing. So that assumption is wrong. The second assumption is, I mean, how do you, in all fairness, say the political system that has been putting Nigeria into this mess are stupid, that can throw money and then doesn't monitor that money? It doesn't happen. And this assumption is the same one they use to tell you that it is easy to, to get the endorsement from somebody that has been tagged, that have been named evil genius, right? And then you can just outsmart him, getting exploited, and then come his back and all that. So it's something to use this word. It is a stupid assumption in Nigerian sphere, and doesn't hold anything from both sides, from the real voters to the politicians. These two assumptions doesn't hold. And of course, if it's coming from the quarter where where you pinned this statement from, it's not shocking, right? It's not shocking because they just put it out that way, like collect their money and then vote your candidate. They are going to give the money and believe that people we vote for them. So literally, they are just trying to confuse people, just like the way they used to do. They put a narrative, but they are doing otherwise. I mean, when they started as a revolutionaries who want to bring sanity to Nigerian elections and politicking. They said that we don't give chichi, but we still branded items in the name of these same people that criminalize people who are doing these things. So I mean, going by their antecedent and what has been happening in the past, you see this statement is just a statement. However, they are saying that we are going to give the money and we believe that people will vote based on what we give. But unfortunately for them, when people tell you in Nigeria that you don't have a structure, what they are saying is that you don't have people who stand at the entrance of the polling unit with machetes, with other things, and ask you, who do you want to go and vote for? And when you mention another person's name, they won't allow you to go near that place. You see the harassment that happened even to a presidential candidate like Shoren in his place. These are not even by hoodlums, because hoodlums could not penetrate. Nigerian establishment brought Nigerian force to say you cannot see what is happening. We have to be able to manipulate. You can't use a drone, you can't use a camera to see. I mean, that tells you something, right? So basically, it's not going to work that way. It's what I think would be the solution. And of course, if you see people who just want to get to power by all means, you know that they are not going to change anything. Because if winning election has ever will ever be the solution to Nigerian problem, we shouldn't be like this. Because after every 4 years, we've been having elections, and somebody has always been winning. And that's why I ask people, should we continue to vote for who can win, and then continue to increase our sufferness, or we should rally around someone we know should win? Because when you engage, I mean, of course, I know that from this quarter you put up Obidients. For me, and in my analysis, I divided into 3 people. I know that there are core PDP members that, of course, they tell you they don't like PDP, but they are PDP. And the second fraction, ethno-based people who just believe that, well, let's just have our taste. Just a small fraction are deluded and confused. Those are the people that will tell you that it's only because Chora is good, other candidates are good, but they cannot win. Those ones are confused. They are really confused. So I love to engage those ones. Those are the only people I talk to. And what I ask them is that if we want to vote for who can win election, then we shouldn't be complaining about delivery. Because we've been having people winning the election all this while, and that has not delivered us what we wanted. So why can't we stop at once and then put our best and work for our best? It might not be, I mean, if you say you cannot win election, and because of that you are voting for someone you know yourself that is not the best, so why are you expecting anything different? It's not logical, it's not scientific, it's stupid in nature. I mean, so that's just the point I want to make. So a summary again, this statement is not true that they made it. It was actually said in a way that, I mean, what they are trying to tell you is that we will give people the money. Because some of these people that put out this narrative understood what we are saying. What I just analyzed, they understood it. But of course, majority doesn't understand. But people who are pushing the narrative for them understood it. But what they are telling you literally is that we will give what it takes. Some of them have even openly said that. They say if it is money that it will take to win the election, they're going to put the money. So what I will discuss it here. So yeah, I mean, it is easy to wake somebody who is sleeping. Just call the person's name. or stab the person wakes up. But someone who is not sleeping, if you let put hammer, knock his leg, he no go wake up because he's not sleeping in the first place. So yeah, thank you,
All
Dr. Shidi.
right. Thank you, my brother. Dr. La.
Hey, Dr. Chidi. Good evening.
Good
And
evening,
good
my
evening,
brother.
everybody on the line. Thank you for holding the line always. Um, well, this topic and what our friends are doing, it's not surprising to me. Uh, just like the last speaker said, you see, when Peter Obi left PDP a couple of weeks ago or months ago, uh, I had a kind of prediction that I shared with my friends. I said this guy who is jumping out of PDP has a mission, and I stand to be corrected. People have their own theory regarding Obi leaving PDP, but the day he left PDP, I said that Obi is not leaving PDP. There is some sort of game here. Uh, and the people following him, they don't know the game that this man is playing. So in the end, when he is able to accomplish his mission, the people will realize that they have just been used as pawns because Obi has always been part of PDP. People will say, "Oh, he was in Abga. They came to beg him to join PDP from Abga." So the point is that he was in PDP. He ran with Atiku, I think a couple of times. So Obi is doing the same thing. Obi is just an appendage. The LP and Obi, they are just appendages of the PDP. And one thing that is very amusing to me is that a lot of people who call themselves intellectuals and good politicians in quotes, they are rooting for Obi. They are saying, "Oh, we are supporting him. He's the only candidate from the southeast. It is the turn of the southeast. We are going to support him." Many of them don't realize that they are being used, and Obi is not a serious candidate. That's the truth. Obi knows he's not going to win. I may be sounding like I'm repeating what this man, uh, Governor Soludo, said sometimes recently. But I follow that school of thought is the same school of thought that I belong when it comes to Bita Obi. Either Obi is working for Atiku, and the grand plan was that he would, run on his own and scuttle the chances of his, APC candidate Tinubu, so that they split all the votes and eventually the northern votes go to Atiku, or is just playing some other games. But the former theory for me is the one that I think Obi is following. So I don't know. The fact that they are saying collect money, still vote your candidate, is actually indicative of the fact that they are going to be working for the PDP. The lady who spoke before Light spoke said something that I really support 100%. She said, "There's no way you will collect money from these politicians and you will say you are voting for another candidate." I have been on ground in Nigeria. I came to the United States in 2014, 2010. Sorry, 2007. If you remember, for those of us who remember, it was the year of do or die politics. When President Olusegun Obasanjo declared on the national TV and said, this election is going to be a do or die affair. So that year, I witnessed one of the most, one of the most brutal elections, in my life, where the PDP at the time, they were ready to kill, they were ready to burn down, they were ready to beat to a pulp anybody who would not support their party and vote for their candidates. So they will give people money, and in fact, the money they are giving out, they will use it to touch some diabolical stuffs, and they will tell you that, look, this money is not just ordinary money. We have placed a cause on it. If you go and vote for another person, you are in trouble. So they use that to threaten whoever is taking the money, and obviously the person is going to vote for their candidate. Another thing they do is they assign their representatives of their party to go to the polling booths, monitoring them, looking at who they are taking their vote for. And if you vote somebody else, you are in trouble. So this is their way. That's the shenanigan these people use. So my conclusion from this statement is that they are going to be voting for the PDP. And that confirms that theory that Obi is not running to become president of Nigeria. He's just playing games. He still belongs to that camp, that PDP. So, well, the last thing I would say is that let's keep doing what we are doing. I'm a big supporter of Sowore, and I believe in his cause. I believe in the cause he's fighting. We should not be deterred by whatever anybody is saying or whatever they are doing. They are saying all sorts of things, throwing all sorts of things on the internet to discourage the candidate himself, Sowore, and all the supporters. They come with all kinds of things, but I will not. At this stage of my life, I don't think people can carve out a narrative for me to follow sheepishly. But those of us who are standing and holding the line, let us continue to talk to other people. Like I said yesterday, Sowore, I'm not, I'm a kind of person I'm a very optimistic person. But in the end, if Sowore even doesn't win this election, we, the supporters of Sowore, we have won. We have won, the only true narrative. And that only true narrative is that, we, the people, we now know the truth. Our eyes are open. People cannot use us as pawns. These politicians they have nothing to offer. So Sowore has been able to expose all these people in government, and he has been able to, to let the people know all the atrocities that these politicians are committing. So it is left to them. I just hope that one day people are going to be educated and enlightened enough to do what is right. So I will yield back to Dr. Chidi.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm going to pass to Energy, but before I do that, you see, there are some things I wonder when people are advising other people, whether they can truly give the same kind of advice to people that are very close to them. Like if I have someone who says, hey, mama, take that money from that person, collect the money and go and vote for me. I was asking this person, can you really tell your daughter to go and sleep with someone? Just sleep with them. It doesn't matter. Collect that money. When you sleep with them, then just go and, because they'll get you pregnant too, just go and remove the baby. That's all. Let them sleep with you. Let them do whatever they want to do. As long as they give you the money, carry the money, put it in your pocket. Shebi na pregnancy. When you come out, go and terminate the baby. So that by then, you don't deceive them. You're wiser than them. Do you understand? Or carry that thing they are going to give you, let them give you money, then carry the poison and drink. When you drink the poison, then go to that chemist, you give you a drug that will remove the poison. Can you advise people like that? And the answer will be no. But people will just come and see, it is the practicality of the thing that we're going to be discussing this night. I know so many things. Royal Kitchen just hinted a little bit of it, and even you talked about it. They don't know that on election day, do you know that there was a place they did not allow me to come into that center, that voting center? They did not allow me. I was the governorship candidate for AAC in Enugu State. I came to a polling booth. They did not allow me into that center. Not even, that center had like five polling booths in that area. I could not go into any of those centers. And I came there with my certification, everything. You know that INEC clearance that they gave us, but it was the people there. I just felt, you know what? No need to cause trouble here. We just left. So imagine what to be going on in that kind of a place. They will follow you. They will the thing, the rich kind cubicle. They kept it out there in the open. They will follow you. They will stand there. Police is there. What they call it? Civil defense is there. INEC is there, watching them do it. NYSC people that are there. Everybody is there watching. How many are you going to report? And I'm not talking about one center, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so many centers. We're doing it. And that is the kind of place you tell an old woman. And the person giving the money, you know, the funny thing is, the way they put it, all the track roads that lead to that center, they're like 3 or 4 or 5 of them. You will see different party officials holding cash openly. And as these women and old men, this one I'm talking about in the village, I voted in my village, as they're coming out, they are handing the money over to them. As from that place you collected the money, there's another person that is escorting you to where you collect the thing, do all the verification, they will follow you. Even when you say you don't, they say, mama say you need personal, they will follow that person, make sure you thumbprint. How dare you thumbprint another thing? Anyways, let's go to energy.
Dr. Chidi, good afternoon. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I said, make I follow and do space.
It's much needed, sir. It's much needed. My people, I greet all of you now. I was just looking for a random space to join, and I see that I've been wasting my time on Labour PDP APC space all this morning. So when I saw this space, I said, make I join.
Yes.
Collect the money, still vote your candidate. I think it's one of the lies that were told in this election cycle. There are other lies that have been told by our good friends. One of the other lies, party doesn't matter, only candidate does. There are a lot of rhetorics that after this election, it's when if the people we expect doesn't win, it will have been that Nigerian people they lost the battle, and they still lost the election, basically, in my opinion, because it will have successfully given the ruling class, APC and PDP, a template for them to remove themselves, to absolve themselves from whatsoever crime their party has committed. The rhetorics of the party it's not relevant, it's just candidates we're voting for. I believe it's going to really help APC people going in the future, PDP going in the future, because all they have to do now is to say, hey, it is not my party, or it's not me in the affairs of things, it's the party, and that is it. And if we're doubting me, just look at what Tinubu camp is trying to do today. They're trying as much as possible to separate themselves from the failure of this current administration. And that is because they saw a template and they are riding on it. So this whole collect money, still vote your candidates in. See, people that will collect money to come for rally. We collect money to vote on election day. It is as simple as that. And I was on a space with you yesterday, Dr. Chidi. I think you left immediately you finished speaking. It was obedience space. And it was unfortunate that and I told them this. I said I do not know that there'll be a day that APC and Labour Party people will agree on policy formulations and implementation. We're discussing about the cash restriction policy, the cash withdrawal policy that has made life for people to be hell in Nigeria today. I'm looking at people that wanted good for Nigerians, saying, don't worry, it's okay. We just have to persevere. Every policy have its pros and cons. You see, like people, literal people that believe or they say they want best out of Nigeria, telling us that the hardship we are seeing is a normal thing in a sane society. They are basically telling us that this is the best we could have in rolling out that policy. And these are the kind of things I hear on APC spaces. So it was actually interesting when I was hearing it on Labour Party space yesterday. And I was telling them, I said, see, you guys might not agree. And they all said something interesting when I finished submission. He said, somebody from your party came earlier on and made the same submission. They said it's interesting how you guys says the same thing every time. So and I was like, well, I don't know. Guess maybe because we stood for something and whatsoever we say is always aligned because is based on ideology. Like most of them yesterday, what basically they're saying or they're thinking is the cash withdrawal policy in some ways is going to help to curb vote buying, which is a blatant lie. It is not. I know this is not the topic for today. If anybody thinks today that the political class are worried about the cash restriction policy or they are worried about money not in circulation, either that person is delusional or that person is a joke. It doesn't affect them in any single way. Go to and I said this yesterday as well. If next Sunday, if anybody here is in Lekki, there's a place they call Sailors Lounge. You can go there. On Sundays they have live band, and with them they have this heavy nylon bag or whatever bags. They have cash full in it, and you can just swipe your card, collect money, spray it. The question is, where are those people that are doing exchange of money just to spray musician in a lounge? Where are they getting their money from? This happened live in my presence like last week when people are, looking for money. You're able to swipe your card, get as much as you can, and spray. That's the nation we live in. And for some people thinking that because they felt like it's going to be politically expedient for them, that they should not normalize that policy. And I told them, I say, after it's no longer political expedient for you, maybe possibly when your candidates lose, I hope you guys will able to now say, we're mistaken. Or, by then I'm looking at how they are going to even come out to even say, oh, now this policy that we've touted to be the best thing after jollof rice is suddenly a bad policy. Because the honest truth is, people are suffering. The cash restriction policy, it could have been better implemented. We are the only country that we want to make life harder for people to implement a cashless policy, right? I understand cashless policy is good, but the way to roll it out is to incentivize it, to make it a preferred method, to make it an easier method of transaction. So by default, people will leave cash for cashless when they know that it is easier for them to transact using cashless, right? So it's not by taking away cash from circulation. That's not the way to roll out the policy. And it's just amazing that a lot of people, because they thought it's going to help their candidacy, are trying to now say it's the best thing. So we've seen our obedient brother like be very inconsistent in this election cycle, and that is one of the greatest, things that is crazy. One thing I love about AAC is, irrespective of whether something will make us win or lose election, we try to do the right thing. Even when it's not politically expedient for our candidates, we stick with the right policy, we stick with the right thing. It doesn't matter whether that policy is popular. We don't go with the popular opinion. We just go with the right opinion, with the right policy. And that's the reason why most people, most well-meaning Nigerian, and I want to make emphasis on well-meaning Nigeria, pitch their tent with African Action Congress today. Thank you so much, Dr. Chidi, for allowing me to rant as issuer. I want to say good afternoon, good evening again to everybody. Thank you. Let me give the mic.
Thank you so much, Energy. Thank you very, very much. Yes, I was in that space yesterday, and there's nothing that confronts you like the truth. Normally, when they see me in those groups, they would attack me and all that. They allowed me to speak, and what I said went straight to their account. You have to, when truth confronts you, you really have to go and drink a heavy dose of liquor, of anti-conscience formula to be able to kind of blind your conscience from what it is doing to you. Honestly, there are too many narratives that have been put there to try to overturn what is the truth and what is the reality amongst the citizenry in Nigeria. A lot, and it is narrative after narrative after narrative. People just sit down. Look at the latest. That this is not how I really want to go. And please, if you want to have the mic, you're already a speaker, you can raise your hand. I'll let you speak. And if you want to request to be a speaker, please let me know also. But I know we're talking about this thing of telling people to collect the money and still vote for their candidate, that collecting money has nothing to do with you voting. It's not true, but don't take it from me. I want to hear your own opinion. And please, when it's funny that all this while I've not heard anybody who wants to support this idea. I've not heard anybody who wants to support the idea. Yesterday, in that Obidients group, a lot of Obidients. I don't know if you notice, Energy. They came there and they said, "Look, I'm obedient, but no. How can you be talking about this?" Because they were saying, "No. Let's not rock the boat. Let's not rock the boat at all. Let's leave everything calm. Don't start talking about protests. No. Don't start. If you do that, it will make us lose this." Somebody was saying, this thing that we have taken 10 months to build, let's not, let people just, if you have endured for 9-10 months, what is 2 weeks? Like, you should just endure for 2 weeks. You're telling somebody to, so the election is a do or die affair for you. So if this person dies before that election day, how would they even vote for you? That is something that really, really didn't sit well with me yesterday. And of course, they knew it. And again, I said, is it that you're saying election is not important? No, election is important. If it wasn't important, why would we be in the race? Why would we be asking people to vote on my election in? It is important, but nothing is more important than the human being, the human life. Election is for the people, not the people for election. We determine what goes on in the election. It is our country. You see, Nigerians don't even know how to, they don't understand their position. The day they understand who they are, people will not dictate things for them. They will be able to tell you that it is our country, our election, our time. If the government says it's going to be tomorrow and the whole of the people of Nigeria say, no, it's not going to be tomorrow, you're not going to have that election. And if you say, the election is going to be, what happened when they said they were stopping the voters' registration verification or whatever? What happened? Didn't the people protest? Didn't they have to shift it? So who even made you convinced that on the 25th of February, there's going to be an election? You don't know. But just because of that, out of desperation, you're saying a lot. Everything is okay. And today, we're out of you saying yesterday, don't protest. Just agree. Agree with Emefiele. Say that it's not his fault. Say it is the president is trying. Let's look for someone to put the fault on. It's the bank. It's just the bank. It's the bank. It's not the central bank governor. It's okay. Yeah, what he's doing is okay. I know it is punishment. The one that was even annoying to me is the person, is it Kachi Kalo who that they brought yesterday that was their guest. He was like, I told him, look, I live in Canada. Before you come up with any policy here, you cannot have one of the characteristics of that policy is that people will suffer. I don't care whether you're suffering for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. No, it's not good for the people. Remove that element of suffering. He said, no, here, the government has done something, people will suffer the tax. I said, look at you. How can you be comparing Canada and Nigeria? If they do something that you're going to suffer, even the tax that you're paying, you pay with some pain. But what happens? At the end of the year, the government returns the tax back to you. When everybody does their tax, you do, it's not even at the end of the year, you do your tax and in 2-3 months, you get a tax return, you get a check. The government is like, please, let's borrow this money from you. They borrow the money. The government is not a what do they call it? It's not a profit-making venture. The government does not make profit. If government takes $10 from you, government will give you back that $10. If government in collecting money, they take $10 from you, but somehow revenue from some places now makes them have $15 or $20. The government will begin to share the money back to you. They will say, oh, parents have extra money for your children to go to school. Or people who are in the hospital, that's what they do. And they start all over again. How can you compare it with Nigeria? You come and say people should suffer. Just suffer for 2 extra weeks and everything will be okay. It's fine, it's fine. And now we are waking up to hear your principal say that, oh, it's okay to collect the money. Will you be there? Will you be there to mitigate the consequences of collecting money and not voting for the person that gave you money? In Nigeria election, hey, these people, people just sit down wherever they want to sit down and talk. You don't know what happens right there. On that polling unit where you collected that money and you want to go and vote for somebody else, I pray that you make it to your house that day. Draw to me. You want to say something?
Yeah. Good evening, Dr. Chidi, and every other person on the space, Energy, Dr. Ola, Royal Kitchen, and every other person. I greet you, my people. Yes. So I wasn't really with you on that space. I always stay away from spaces hosted by Labour Party people, right? Because they're not serious minded individuals to me, and so but just like many things that we've said before, and I think yesterday we even hosted a space where we talked about this issue. We people like us right now, we are very inconsequential. The only place that we can do a protest is actually in the campus, so that is where I'm looking at us going to go and protest. While the Obidients movements, we're expecting them to be the ones shutting down all the streets and and actually, be the ones that these people, they need to...
Hold on. To me, wait. I just remember something. Do you remember when Obidients said they were going to shut down Lagos? There was going to be a big protest. Then we now said we're not going to do protests, so they should come and do. Once we say we're not doing, what happened to that protesting?
I have no idea. They said they were going to occupy INEC and everything. I didn't see anything again. It's simple, I just wish that I know that we will not do it, but I just wish that we can just give them some time, just a few weeks, let them experience, what we've experienced. By the time one of them, maybe one or two of their influencers are going to the court every week, and one or two of them are in DSS custody, another two are here and there. I think they would know what it takes. But if we don't, if we don't let them experience it, they will keep on, taking us for granted. Because as far as I'm concerned, I think the AAC is the only party that has been like an opposition in the last 4 years. Even without money, even without anything, even without the resources and everything, we've been the only ones that have been holding things down, shutting down everywhere. Like if these other political parties, were contributed, even if it was 25%, it will have been a whole lot much louder, and people like this Buhari will not still be here to be messing up our lives. And I tweeted something earlier today when they say, Showore, go and start from Senate, go and start from this, and go and start from that. You can see that the presidency is messing up your life now, and there's nothing that your Senate or your House of Reps can do about it, because unfortunately in Nigeria, the powers that come with the presidency, supersedes, a whole lot, and there's nothing that they can do about it. So for me, I'm really happy with the turnout of events, this election period. There is nobody, you see, that's why it's good that we're so loud about what we are, and I will encourage us to keep on getting as loud as possible, even until till the election finishes, because I know it will come to a point. Today I went on many spaces. I didn't even say a word. I didn't even request for mic, but I was just hearing everybody re-echo this thing, that if you want a change, you should be voting for people like Shore. Yeah, these are people from different political parties. I was just laughing. That's so now you guys know, and you guys will know every single thing that because if when we were doing Buhari must go, love would, these guys too, what are they doing? They are doing too much. They're doing, when Shore started tweeting about this Emefiele guy, a lot of them were saying rubbish. But look at it today. If he was removed, possibly we will not be in this hardship. So people like us that are way ahead of these guys, we can't afford to. Me, I'm even tired of complaining. So we can't afford to be hitting them. When they complain, I just look at them, and the ones that were telling us before that we should be very patient. Nigeria's democracy is just 20 something years old. We should be patient. I'm giving them their same advice too. I'm telling them to be more patriotic. I'm telling them to be patient, and I know that when eventually, because Obi is not going to win, so when eventually he loses, we will see several demonstrations. We're going to see several things that would happen, and we will be the ones that, brother, are you now Aluta or are you now SUG? I just wish that we can give them small time, just before we become the Superman again, and before our Superman will run again. Let us give them small time, 5 months, 6 months, to fight this battle, and then they would have more respect by the next election cycle. So thank you very much, Dr. Chidi.
Thank you, Drew. To me, thank you so much for all the battles you keep fighting. Sometimes I don't even come into the spaces. I just see the spaces just floating, and I see, how it pops up. I see that you're there. I go, I see that you're in another space. I just say, oh my God, I don't know where you get your energy from. But we have to keep doing what we keep doing. So the amazing thing is, like you have said, everywhere, people just keep saying, you know what, the truth be say, now only Shore fit do this. See if not Shore, and that it is all over the place right now, and that's how, when you neglect someone, when you make someone the underdog, that person pulls a stunt on you. But let's just see what will happen. Solomon, you want to take over the mic?
Yeah. Good morning. It's morning here, so good afternoon. I don't know. Dr. Chidi. I don't know. Maybe afternoon, I mean night or something.
Yeah.
So, well, there's something I used to say to people. Number one, the money they have is not even their money. Number one, and it's blood money. Number two. So, and sharing that money to you, you should know that your life is at stake. Because even if you, these people are very, very dangerous. I told some people that he said, if they give you money, you collect, and then you not do what they ask you to do. You're dealing with cartels. These guys are cartels. They they'll give you money and you won't do their bidding. I'm sorry, yeah, you will not exist. I don't know. They won't even find your body. But the reality there is that Nigerians, this is what I'm even waiting for. I just want us to tip and everybody go crazy and we hit the streets and start protesting. Me, I'm waiting for protests. See, all these elections, we want to just be involved in the election to let them know that we are everywhere. But the reality there is that I'm waiting for this protest because it's heating up already. I just want it to come out fully and we hit the street because that is the only thing. Because we own this country, not them. And dealing with them, especially all these influencers and all of them, I told them that if they lose, it's just feel that the new government, Showore will do as a government. Because most of you guys hands are not clean with these guys. They are going to kill you all. They are going to kill some of you guys, even if they're in jail. I don't think they understand the kind of danger they're even putting themselves. Because these guys are very powerful today. We have allowed them to become powerful to the extent that they can kill you when you're involved with them if you do not do their bidding. And if they fail, they are still going to kill you anywhere they are. Is it those people that that's why, when I just see them, especially those influencers, when they post them and start shouting for them, I'm just looking at them, I'm just shaking my head because the new government will do their part to get them arrested, to let them pay for their crime. But your life you're gone. Your family will pay for it. Your entire world will pay for it. So do not just deal with them. Stand on your own. Fight for your own freedom as a citizen. That is how you'll be free. Not that election is coming. Who won the election? Is it not us, the people that won the election? It's just that I don't understand how we're so. It's greed. I can just 100% is greed. Because if it's not greed, why will you be advising people to cool down? It doesn't even make sense to me. It doesn't even stand with me at all. The reality there is that all I just know is that this thing is going to heat up and the protest will start very soon. And I believe that it's a revolution that is heating up. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Because once it's out there, we are hitting the streets. That's what we do best. No time for that. We own this country. They don't own this country. That's the reality. That's what I have to say. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you so much. But honestly, before I was saying protest, but listen to Drew to me, I'm honestly, I'm changing my mind. These people, they need to come. We need to drag them to do. They are very, look, guys, this thing won't work. It won't work. It won't work. You make noise. See, you go draw rain, you go kill person. When that time comes, here they quickly just run and publish and say, no. Obidients, don't come out for protest. Don't I said, why? Why they run now? Why they run? Right? You see something that's happening, you say, no, nobody should come out. And when you tell us, I said it today in my program, when you're talking about protest, when you're telling someone not to protest, do you know what you are killing this person? Do you know what you're doing? You're telling this person to voluntarily give up their rights. It's not fella that sang and said, human rights, now my property. You can't dash me my property. Now, your right to express yourself and to say, no, this thing when you do me, I no like am. Somebody walks up to you and says, give up that right on your own. Do you know what it means? You just carry your right, just throw the thing away. Not under any compulsion, not by force. Oh, you're finished now. You're finished. Because they say, don't just go and suffer. Go and suffer. Don't complain. What you're going through is no big deal. People suffer it. Just suffer. The same people the same people, you told them not to complain. You tell them to be in that state of sufferness towards election. Because of that, their sufferness. Somebody, why don't you really fight for the people? If you fought for the people right now, and everybody has their money in their pockets, and everybody is in a good state of mind to go into the election, then they will not even be interested in the money that anybody wants to offer them. But no, you told them, don't worry, let us allow the mess. You don't collect your money, you don't have any money with you, and then these people, you are going to, of course, they'll be hungry because they don't have any money. This whole currency policy has made sure that they don't have money. They are suffering, they are hungry. And you knowing they are hungry, and you knowing what is out there, you knowing the gain that is out there, you voluntarily advise them to go and place themselves in the way of harm. Can you imagine? You think say that in my business of taking money? I don't know. It's people, they don't. I don't think if you've participated in election, not like you just come and vote and go. If you have sat down there as a participant, part of, when you just go to vote, you don't know what's happening. You don't know who is an agent. You don't know who is INEC. You don't know who is DSS. You don't know it because everybody's in mufti except one or two people that will be, the police will be in their police uniform. But a lot of people there are in mufti. If you have participated, if you see how the thugs came in, if you see how the thugs, maybe they found a knife on somebody, maybe somebody brandished a pistol, maybe somebody had a dagger, maybe you saw how their vehicle that is roaming around came them more supplies. You saw the kind of people that were in that vehicle. You saw like 5 or 6 boys come out of that vehicle smoking, their eyes are red. They just talk to somebody like this. You were not there when all that happened. You were not there when they brought the money out. You didn't see all of that thing, and you're telling that papa to go and collect the kind of money that if you saw what went into that money before it arrived at that place, if you saw, fear no go even let you. You can't even approach those people to go and collect that money. You tell this old man, you tell this old woman in the village to go to that place where they are sharing the money and go and collect the money, and then have some matter to settle with this kind of person. Somebody who doesn't even consider life at all, who has no regard for life. That is the kind of person now you suddenly went and paired somebody who is your supporter. Can you imagine the kind of market you're buying for your supporters? You should now go and mingle with this person and enter into a contract with this kind of person. And you won't be there. You, Mr. Smart, you are 100 kilometers away. You don't even know how this person entered into. Oh, you think they use a template? There's an app they use. Mama will log into that app. Then they'll log into the app. Mama will use mobile. You think that? I think this technology thing is making us not think like human beings. That's how you think it works. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. By the time Mama enters into that contract, she must vote for them. If she dare not, you won't even know what happened to her. Go ahead, Royal Kitchen.
Yes, Dr. Chidi. I'll soon be going off, so I just wanted to just say my last, submission. So for me, it's a win for AAC, for Shure on so many grounds. If you look at it from the beginning of this whole electoral season, so many eye-opening, so many, a lot of people that I talk to, especially with the way he has been mingling with ordinary Nigerians on the streets, everybody having accessibility to a presidential candidate like never before. A lot of people tell me that he's giving them hope. He's making Nigerians know that, look, you cannot just, we all have a right. My battery is even low. We have a right to, we must, it's not even just apart from our right to protest, we must be able to, call out, make our leaders accountable to us. That's the only way we are going to get certain things done. And that's how it's done everywhere else in the world, not just in Nigeria. So somebody like Peter will be gagging his supporters, telling them not to express themselves, just like he said. It just shows that he's part of the system whereby he wants people to remain mute under repression, under oppression. You want people to remain quiet so that the oppressors can continue, with their fanfare. But in a situation whereby people voice out, we've seen so many situations whereby Omoyele Sowore has started movements that has been able to change scenarios. He will have done so many others, but maybe some people like discourage him, or even a lot of us, his supporters. I don't even want him out there right now because we know he's in a very sensitive and delicate position now, and we even need him like on the front line. So I really don't want him involved in any sort of protest or activism for now. But the truth is that we can't really get anything done because our leaders are, we've already seen them for who they are. Sahara Reporters has been able to expose a lot of criminalities. I mean, I had a video leak today of the CBN governor and other top CBN officials, deliberating, brainstorming on how they want to cover up loot, how they were the options they had on ground, going into shareholders, dividends, and all sorts of unimaginable criminalities going on in the corridors of power. These people are ruthless, like you said. These people they have no conscience, or not to even talk about godly. they don't believe that. People like that, they are just, and we empower them. We empower them by our silence. We make them so powerful by keeping quiet. When you see somebody, I don't know if I'm still audible.
Yes, you are audible.
So you see leaders, trampling on your rights, killing you, causing all sorts of hardship, and you tell people to keep quiet, to not speak up. Who does that? Only a repressive and oppressive leader will tell, people to continue to persevere in faces of hardship. People can't get access to their money. How do they survive? How do they go about their daily? We are talking about people that needs just less than 20K, to do running around 5K, 2K, and they can't get access to it. And you're telling, is this the first time Naira is being designed? It is so ridiculous. It is so annoying. And then the mob, headless mob, start defending. I see some of them even going to defend Buhari and Emefiele, these people that in a sane society, we're in a sane society, these people, somebody like Emefiele should be facing crimes against humanity. This is somebody that DSS, has issued an arrest. If he's not guilty, why did he flee the country? And that case has been silenced by the cabals. If he's not guilty, why didn't he stay back and prove his innocence? Why did he flee the country only to get back and Malami and the rest of them shut down that case? So Nigeria is a crime scene, but thank God for the likes of Omoyele Sowore and the army. Like the army has been able to, to army of, like aware youth Nigerians that are very conscious and aware of how to actually go about fighting for your rights, and exposing people to the kind of leaders, backward leaders that have gotten us to this situation where, so it's a win, it's a total win. And believe me or not, the strategy of Sowore in actually connecting has paid off so well. Like he won't have gotten this far if he had gone along with the rally. That I think he said in one of his interviews that you need a leader like brain power, having that brain power. Don't just follow the mob. Everybody's doing rally, I want to do that. But looking for something that is more effective and efficient. And he was able to devise ways of reaching out to people, as in making people actually listen to him and, hear him out, listen to what he has to say concerning all the challenges and issues we face in this country. And a lot of people have embraced him so much. What we just need now is like a system, because we all know that apart from voting in Nigeria, we have a very compromised INEC, the officials, everybody, the security operatives, everybody that is supposed to be entrusted in making the elections, I mean, the votes of people actually count, have been compromised one way or the other. So having that kind of free election that will actually guarantee that our votes will actually count is, one of the biggest challenges that we are being faced. We all know that beavers or whatever it is a sham, and just a makeover to make it seem like they are trying to do something tangible. They can always bypass, and will always try every means possible to bypass beavers or any other obstacle to rig the election. That's what we know, and what we know about how desperate the ruling party and other oppositions are. So, bottom line, it's a win-win for us. The movement is going to continue post-election. It's not going to stop. It's until we get there, and we definitely get there, because we just can't even continue like this at all. So thank you. Good night, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much, my sister, and thanks for all the good work that you do. Hetty Ore. Hetty Dre, sorry, I said Hetty Ore. I'll see you like sorry.
Yes, good evening, good Dr. Chidi.
Good evening.
My own challenges. I don't know. I have my 81-year-old mom back home. And this scarcity of Naira is biting hard. Because ordinarily, she will have to send somebody with her card to go into the bank and use ATM on her behalf.
Yeah.
Now, because of this scarcity, she's finding it difficult. And I'm just using a personal story to understand what people are actually passing through because of the failure of government policies. And this failure, they are not even owning up to it. Unfortunately, like you said, we have the so-called savior in LP that says people should bear with governments. Like I always say, because fundamentally it's not different from the government it wants to replace. So they believe that people can suffer, just suffer more, even though people have been suffering for the past 63 years after independence, but they still want you to suffer the more. And this thing is real. I made a mistake, which I hardly make. When I come on spaces, I look for people to follow to spaces. For instance, if I see Dorothy me in a space, I might go there. I hardly go to many spaces. I just try to avoid. I made a mistake 2 days ago because I saw a topic that says this Naira scarcity are the banks to blame. So I just thought it's going to be an intellectual engagement. And I went there to say, okay, let us go and engage in this discussion. And I listened to them. Many of them were just saying all sort of things. As a former banker, I just thought, let me just give my own perspective. That the commercial banks did not make the policy. Yes, the bank made the policy. So when a policy fails, you are supposed to put your gun at the central bank and ask for accountability from the CBN governor by saying, because at least so far I know about 3 people that have died as a result of this policy. Those deaths are on his head and on the head of Buhari that approved that policy. Because we did this without this policy, those 3 people that are dead, they will be alive. There is a way that we forget about policy, that this policy have real life impact on people's lives. So that man that slumped in Delta State and died in the banking hall, without this policy, that man will still be alive. He will still be with his wife. He will still be with his children. But this policy killed him. And just like they killed 2 or 3 persons in Ibadan, that responsibility should fall on CBN governor and on the president that approved it. And these people just went around, and I just realized that, oh, maybe they are part of the so-called paid people. Because their land, they pay some people online to come and host spaces. And they just went, I was so angry, and I said, man, I have to go and check my body. What is that thing called? My BP afterwards. Because I became extremely angry. And I will never make such mistake again. And it's I don't know how to say it. For a president to say, suffer more for more 10 days. After 10 days, if I see what happens, then I will decide. So is it that he's not seeing the fact that Ibadan is boiling? Many places in Lagos are boiling. My mom lives in Agege, if you know Lagos. The Union Bank, very close to her, they have closed the Union Bank down because the police are there. People are trending, they are going to burn down the branch. So we have this so much anger. And these people just decided not to look at those anger and decided to continue with their bad policy. This policy that is having negative impact. And what do we get from people? So we have APC people that will come out, for instance, and claim that the problem is not Buhari. Buhari is being misled by the CBN governor. And what I'm hearing is, indirectly, I may be wrong, is that Buhari is stupid. That when anybody goes to Buhari and presents issues to him, he cannot use his brain and decide. You know that kind of arguments, that he cannot use his brain. That is just a mannequin that cannot process information before taking decision. That is not Buhari. Or Buhari loves the people. It is the CBN governor. And I just sit back there. Why will we be openly, even though we know, why will we be openly be telling us that Buhari is a child that cannot use his brain? And he's supposed to be the commander-in-chief. That's the argument of the APC people. The argument of Obi is that we should suffer more and bear with this suffering. Then we have the argument of the so-called people that went to school that you see on TV. And then we're talking about figures, talking about our inflation will improve. Why people are suffering now. And it baffles one. And what I enjoy that it is happening around this period. Who did I think it was Rotimi that shared one Yoruba woman that was working and was cursing Tinubu. I like it because people can see that these people are not going to give you anything but more suffering and suffering and suffering. But where I disagree with Rotimi and this thing is, because we know what the Obi movement stands for, they are never going to protest. Their master is not about what, he doesn't care about what is wrong. He's going to do the same thing. So what are they going to protest against? Talk about subsidy removal. Their master says it's going to remove subsidy. So why are they going to protest against fuel queue as at now? They are talking about naira scarcity. Their master said the people should bear. What are they going to protest against? So mention any bad policy. Their masters actually support those policies. He's just saying that Buhari is not doing those policies well. Give me the opportunity. If Buhari is using, what's that thing called again? If you're using cane to beat you, me, I'll use sweep. And I'll do it better than Buhari. That's what he's saying in essence for me. So I don't have to preach about Showore. I don't have to preach about better policy to anybody. Anybody that genuinely is interested in progress of the society, I don't need to speak English. They can all see it. If they have decided they are not going to follow your path, you don't have to even bother your head about them. Just allow them. These people are really not interested. So you listen to when Sheun Kuti said their PO is an opportunist, and I saw people going after Sheun. People that are unknown, that have never done anything in their life, saying, me, I don't know Sheun. Who knows their own father? Who knows who they are? You know, so who are you to talk? I don't know about Sheun. Who exactly are you to question another person? That's something that is obvious. If you call somebody an opportunist, it's an English word now. That somebody jumped from party P, BDP, to LP, and in 1 week he became a candidate. Is that person not an opportunist? If somebody is a member of PDP for about 8 years and says, I'm now your new savior, is that person not an opportunist? It's just a simple English now. Opportunist, one can just open the dictionary and see the meaning of an opportunist. That this person is an opportunist. and is more dangerous, in my own opinion, than even the Atiku and PMB, because Atiku and Tinubu is even more dangerous, because those ones you already know this person is a devil. But the other one that is pretending that is your friend, they are the worst set of friends. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hetty. Thank you. We're in a very dangerous position now, honestly. Solomon, you have the mic.
Okay. All right. I think I've spoken before.
Oh,
Or
sorry. Okay,
yeah.
okay. I'll come back to you. I think Oyetumbi. Yes, Shay. You have the mic. But I'm really waiting for people who are in support of this collect the money and still vote for your candidate. Or the thing is, a lot of times when Labour Party people know that their candidate has goofed, they just quietly just slide past the thing. They just remember that time that he was crying. That week, all of them just pretended. They didn't even, anywhere the topic was going on, they didn't come near at all. So once they see this big, this big gaffy that their man has done, that's why nobody, because I was expecting a lot of obedience to come here. I'm waiting for the violence. I want the attack now. Even
I've even shared the post today. Attack them.
that they're not coming here. Okay, my brother, go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chidi. And thanks for having me here. Thanks to the previous speaker too. I like the fact that he laid emphasis on the obvious that Obi is worse than the two other known sinisters. Like I was speaking to a friend a couple of days ago, Mandate. He said we for sure, it looks like the energy is dropping bit by bit, which is quite worrisome, because this is a time that we should even buckle up and get to speak more, get to address concerning issues like the case of this Obi, because why Obi is more dangerous in my own perspective and in relation to what the previous speaker said is that you know uh you don't need to explain that Tinubu is terrible. Even those supporting him know quite all right that is not the right thing for Nigeria. Atiku is a known criminal, a known thief. He himself, understand that he's not even good for the country. But Obi is Obi is that devil that his followers are not even aware of. I think they are not aware. And it's like the hybrid of these two, like he has the elements of these two known evils. Like he has the elements of whatever that you see in Tinubu and whatever that you see in Atiku, except for the fact that okay, he's younger. And with the way things are going, if we don't go out and let people understand what we understand, it might not be now, but in a very short distance, Obi might end up becoming the president. And when we look at it critically, the the owners of Nigeria, they are packaging Obi in preparation for they know that he won't become the president now. But because they are not interested in letting Nigeria be free in 50, even 100 years time, because if you look at it strategically, they're already positioning their children to overtake from them. So in filling that gap, someone like Obi is needed. People like Obi, people that can compromise, they are needed. They would rather support someone like Obi than wait and just watch someone like Shewure become the leader. So, because why would Obasanjo, that everyone knows that is like the grand founder of every evil we have happening in the country, go out public to support Obi, and the Obidian think it's cool. They think it's cool. Like they are all happy about it. It was with Babangida. It was with all this with all this known grandmasters of evil in the country. So, and the sad thing about this obedience is that no matter how devilish you are, no matter your antecedents, once you are throwing weight behind their candidates, you are good. You're already a saint. Look at it. This issue of this naira issue, this scarcity of naira. The moment we were all talking about how it has affected the economy, how it is not really helping matters, and how it is even strange because how can you be in a country and there will be scarcity of that currency in the country, you know? But the moment Obi came out to support it in a very funny way, Obi is a very smart devil. He's That's why I was very, very happy when I had this last speaker say Obi is worse than, because I thought I was the only one thinking in that direction, that Obi is worse than Tinubu and Atiku. It is easy to condemn Tinubu, it is easy to condemn Atiku, but because of how corny Obi is as a person, it is, if you are not really conversant with the political terrain of Nigeria, and of course know little of Obi's past, you find it very difficult to nail him. So he came out in a very funny way to support Obi. Is a major oppressor in the country, so he can never go against the oppressive system. So because why would you even think that the scarcity of naira is in the favor of the masses? You want to tell me that candidates will not have access to naira? If they can't spend naira, they will spend dollars. If they can't spend the dollars, they will spend pounds. These people, they are very, very influential. They have networks, and no matter the scarcity, they will always have their way to buy votes. And now coming down to the theme of the space, that's collect the money, still vote for your candidate. Well, it's kind of I don't think it works that way, because if you collect the money, you are already into it, and it's not going to be easy to vote against that particular candidate. And I will use myself as an example. During the last election, I was still a student. I was in my final year then in Osun State University. So I went to my village to vote. So when I got there, it was at the eve of the election. They came to my grandma. Different parties came. PDP came, they dropped money. APC came, they dropped money. They didn't call it money to buy vote too. They just said, Mama, we know you are old and you are one respected person in the community. We just came to show you love. Tomorrow we know we will be how to vote. So we don't want you to, go through the stress, and at the end of the day, you will not see something to at least ease the stress. So they dropped the money. I was there. They now saw me, Mama's son, you are here to vote too. You will need this money to cool down, and of course your transport fare. I said no, that I wasn't interested, because I already know who I'm voting for, and I'm not expecting something from the two parties that are known for the destruction of Nigeria. So, and after so much persuasion, I still did not collect it. So on the day of election, what happened? I went with my grandma. So it was time for her to vote. They were looking, but because Mama was too old, she needed me to, help her vote. And I already explained to her, of course, she's my grandmom now. I already explained to her that, Mama, you, in 10 years, that's if you are lucky to even stay for another 10 years, you'll be gone. Me, I'm still here for 50 years or more. If you, because of this money that is not even half of what your children send to you on a monthly basis, if you for this reason go ahead and vote to continue with the rules of this country, the effect will be on also your grandkids. So Mama already, we settled that at home. So I had to use her thumb because she said, wherever you want me to vote for Sheyi, I am interested. So she thumbprinted for Showore. And they were looking from afar. So when they saw that it was AAC Mama thumbprinted for, there's this way these people calculate it. They know the number where PDP is, they know the number where APC is. So if you are not voting on that spot, they don't need to be close to you. There's how they calculate how your eyes move down the ballot paper. So they knew that Mama did not vote for them. And they came to me. They started trying to cause issues. So if not for the fact that the old woman was a no-nonsense person, the woman called them that, did I come to beg for money from you? And if your wallet is too much, come and take it. If not for that, they would have, maybe threatened me, or that might have been my reason to leave the community in a rush. So it is better not to take their money. That 5,000, that 2,000 is like a shackle. The moment you take that money, you are in trouble. And they don't just give the money without supervision. So let us discourage it in every way. If you don't take their money, you're already letting them know that you don't want them for anything. We've been surviving for how long without their money, and we know that this money is nothing, and it is the way that they keep misinforming our people, because when they come with this money, they don't even tell them that they are giving them the money to buy votes. They don't tell them that way. But the moment we are telling our people that, you see, this money, when they come to you to give you money during an election like this, it is to buy a vote. The people that did not give us palliative, they locked our palliative during COVID when people needed money, when people needed food, when people needed, basic things to just survive. These people who don't care about our well-being, they are not generous. Don't take from them. You understand? So let us put them to shame. Let us make them realize that the time is now for us to, fix the country. If we can, some of us might be lucky to run and leave the country for a better life outside Nigeria, but we still have families in Nigeria. A couple of days ago, I was speaking with my mom and she was explaining how tough the country. I felt very bad because even if the woman left the country now, she still has family. I still have siblings. I have, you understand? You cannot entirely bring all family members to wherever you are just to escape the hardship in the country. No matter, even if it is a friend, you will still have someone in that country. And Ibad as Ibad, that place is still our country. I know activities have been happening, but this isn't how it was in 2019. Showore was everywhere in 2019. I'm not saying we should give up now, but it looks like 2023 is gone. But we still have let us come together, let us rebond. This is what they want. And I think that is why all those babas are even interested in supporting Obi, because they can't deal with Showore's energy. They can't deal with it. So they would rather prefer someone that can always run to them, prostrate, listen to their ideas. Obi cannot fix that country because, number one, he does not even have the moral right. He doesn't have the energy, and it is not even in his idea to do, and he does not even have the political will. But Showore has the character, he has the antecedents, he has the tenacity, and he's a very disciplined person, someone who is not scared to stand alone. So the Babas cannot support Showore. The known owners of Nigeria cannot support Showore. So, but who cares? If we, the governed, are for him and we are supporting him, we are giving him, when he looks back, he's seeing us, that would keep him going. And I know someday, somehow, that country would, will be free from the owners of Nigeria. So thank you, Mr. Chidi.
Thank you. Thank you very much. But let me quickly correct one impression. Let me address one issue. Thank God I have some doctors in the house, medical doctors and other medical professionals. You see, When a doctor looks at you and tells you that, hey, man, the way I see you, man, you need to stop smoking, or you need to stop drinking, you need to do exercises. He's telling you the truth. Do you understand? But guess what? When you go out there, the other voices that are talking to you are louder than the doctor. They say, waiting, bros, come make we go shack. Say, oh boy, my doctor. Forget that doctor. Bring, madam, bring 2 more bottles for him. People will continue to drink. People will drink raw alcohol. Do you think it will make the doctor that when he gets home, he's not going to have his dinner? No. Do you think it will make him when he wants to? It doesn't. So you see, what we are there to do, members of the Take It Back movement, members of Revolution Now, members of the African Action Congress, Shore supporters, we are there to state the fact, to tell you the truth. You heard what somebody said, that whenever we come to a space, I had left a space, somebody else came long after. And when he finished talking, somebody said, you're just sounding like the person that spoke before. Because that's what, if Durotomi goes somewhere and talks, and maybe this space finishes, I go to that same space, maybe a longer space, and I start talking, it will be, the points I'll make will be exactly in sync with what he has said. So we are not dropping, like Mandate said, just like Shore said, we are there, we drop the truth, we tell you, waiting day, we move on. I'm telling you, it won't make us, stop our activities because you refuse to hear. No way. We would, like we're telling you right now, that if you collect that money, you are putting yourself in harm's way. Obedience will come and turn everything we say upside down, say we are non-entities, say we are SUG government, say blah, 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 have the louder voice. No problem. It's not our business. Shebi last, everybody go chop breakfast, Shebi? So don't worry about it. Our duty in this whole thing is to, the day, the time, the moment you agree with the truth, the moment you align yourself with the truth, guess what? It's going to be better for you. The alcohol you're drinking, you think you're drinking and it's entering the doctor's stomach for where? You think when you're smoking it's destroying the doctor's heart? No way. It's just like when a teacher gives you an assignment, you refuse to do the assignment. You think it's the teacher that will take the exam? No. We've told you the truth. We place the truth before you. What you decide to make of it is your business. Honestly speaking, look, there are sometimes you feel bad that, okay, you know what? I wish all my friends were outside Nigeria, take a breather from all the nonsense that is going on in Nigeria. Even if it is for 1 week, just enjoy yourself outside all the stress in Nigeria. But you come to discover that the win is from, remember Bob Marley said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. A freedom from mental slavery is much more beneficial to you than any other kind of freedom. As long as you are not mentally free, even if they can buy you with a lot of money, they can buy you with gold and silver. But if you're mentally free, you'll be able to make the right decisions. You'll be able to make the right judgment calls. So as long as we are producing an army that is not as noisy as other people, but an army that is sure-footed, they are grounded in the truth. They are free. Do you know what it means to be free? Free to the point where you know yourself, you know you're right. You wake up and you are filled with this boldness. When you open your mouth and talk, people will say, who is this guy? That is the biggest thing. For me, that's the biggest thing that I have going for me. That's the biggest thing that I have going for me. Whatever I became, it's not Canada that made me what I became. I already had that coming from Nigeria. And that is a very powerful thing as far as I'm concerned. I hope you guys can hear me, please. Somebody call
Yeah,
me and call out.
Dr. Chidi,
Deal.
clearly.
Hello?
Hello?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, clearly. I can hear you clearly from here.
Okay. So anyway, thank you so much. I don't know if we've gone around everybody, and if you still want to have the mic, please request the mic and I'll bring you up. I also I'm gonna be I'll be ending this shortly. Since I didn't get anybody, I thought Obidients will have the lever to come and explain to me, because now learn and they learn. I learn. We know truly understand, where they're going with this.
They are always even avoiding anything to worry. They would rather go after, the people they have balls to attack now. The Atiku and
Abby. But initially they didn't want to hear anything. They didn't want any. That is, Shoreni used to give them hard on. Now everything, eyes on the open, things on they become very, very clear. Okay, I see someone request. Hold on, let me bring you in. Sunday, how are you? Sunday, you're now on. Please, you can unmute your mic and please explain to me what we mean by collect the money and still vote for your candidates. Go ahead, Sunday. Can you hear me?
Good evening.
Okay, good. Yes, good evening, Sunday. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Sunday. I'm coming from Niger Republic.
Go ahead, my brother.
All right. I've been hearing two of you. You have been speaking for long. I'm obedient myself. I'm obedient.
Good.
We are not here to attack anybody. I myself, I love Shole very well. I love his tenacity. I love his boldness. I love his character. So, but what
Sunday.
Let me
finish. No, I'm not disturbing you. I just wanted to. You see, this is almost like when you put a broken record. I knew when you immediately you started saying this.
No,
see how I said, but
my issue with him is that I've been expecting that from him. What I've been expecting that he should have surrendered for Peter Obi. My reasons are like this. Why I said he has surrendered for Peter Obi is that the cause he's fighting is the same cause Peter Obi is fighting.
How?
Shole said he's fighting for the common man. He wants to emancipate them. He wants to, for freedom, that we should own our country, the youth, because we occupy 50%. So, and that's the same cause P2B is fighting for. It's for the masses. I heard the other speaker say that P2B did not have the political will. That he didn't have the political. I was shocked when he said that P2B did not have. Did he remember what P2B did for? Not because I'm from Anambra. I'm an Anambra man anyway. But did he remember or go to the history line what P2B did in Anambra? When P2B came up as a governor of Anambra State, that's when Anambra was tense up. Hello, are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
When Anambra was hot in the times of kidnapping, killings, and robbery. At that time in Anambra, you can be carrying a polythene bag. They will give you short leaves immediately at Opiweka, everywhere. They give you short leaves. But that the same time P2B came in and he dismantled everything and leveled everything, and all the power that be, all the money mongers in Anambra State. He silenced everybody. So when he said he didn't have the political will, I was shocked. This man is somebody, he's a self-made man. So he's not afraid of you. If you come from, he's already made man. So there's nowhere he will come from, he will be afraid of you. You know, so that is the kind of person that we need in Nigeria. You know, so when we are Shore, he knows for sure that he's not going to win this election. He knows for sure he's not winning this election. 2023, February 25th. So why wasting that vote? Let's say 20,000 votes, let's say 50,000 votes, let's say 200,000 votes. Why wasting that 200, 500,000 votes? Why not give it to P2P? It will give him a leverage over this old order that we have, PDA and APPDP. You know, so it will give him, because he knows he's not going anywhere. But P2P stand a chance either to push this two old order away. You know it. The other brother the other fellow that spoke earlier, he knew it himself. So so for him to waste, just like when P2B started, they said we are going to waste the vote. Why we should waste that vote? Let's say 200,000, let's say 500,000. Why wasting it? Because it's a waste to me, to my own analysis. It's a waste. So why not let's gather energy together and fight this common cause and win? Because if it's fighting against itself cannot stand. You get me? So I'm not fighting anybody. I heard people say obedient as silent. We're not. I'm not fighting anyone, but we are only speaking truth.
All right. Thank you, my brother. You see, one thing I like is the fact that maybe for the first time since I've been on Spaces, you actually came, and some other people here are more versatile with Spaces, and they are more consistent with Spaces more than me. But the few times I've been on Spaces, a lot of Obidients don't sound the way you've sounded. But having said that, you see, there are, let me even start from the topic. P2B said, there are so many things you said, though, I would like to ask for further explanation, as you know very well that I am a Shore person. At least you understand that clearly. I just want clarification as an obedient person. But let me start from the topic. P2B says today that you should collect the money from the people that are coming to give you the money, but still vote for him. So as an obedient person, can you, because I know once he says that, all of you agree with him. So can you explain to me how that is going to work?
Okay, how it's going to play out is this. I heard him because I followed every bit of it. So I heard him when he said that. So how it's going to play out is that when you collect, because he knew the reason, let me give you in a clear time. The reason why he said that is that he knew that they are going to be an inducement. They are going to induce you, induce you. So, and he know that money they are inducing you to vote for them with is your money. It's your money. It is your own. But they are bringing it as in a bait for you. So take it from them and vote your conscience. Take it, it's your money. Money they stole from you. They stole it from you. And they're hiding it until this time. So when they give it to you, collect it. Even I told my brothers in Anambra, I said, even my mother, my father is alive, my father, I told, when they give you, collect it.
Aye. Okay.
Before, we are voting PDP before, but now collect it from them and vote Labour Party. Okay. My mother said yes. If my two brothers in the village say yes,
okay,
they will collect it. The money belongs to them, but they hide it.
Okay.
So that's the issue.
No, you have not explained to. Okay, maybe I didn't. You see, this is you're just confirming some of the things, and that's the reason we have this kind of Spaces. It's just to show clearly the effect of some of these things. Okay, Now, if the only reason why you're saying this is because P2B said it, so if P2B had said anything different,
even before he said it,
okay.
Even before he said it.
Okay, so let me ask you this question, my brother.
Right.
All the money that is like, okay, the policeman that is at the checkpoint, okay, and a politician comes to the checkpoint, and the politician goes on the left side of the road, okay. The policeman wants to stop this politician, and the politician brings out money and gives the policeman. That money belongs to the policeman too, because the policeman is a citizen of Nigeria and the politician stole the money. So now the policeman should take this bribe from this politician and then does whatever he wants to. Before he does whatever, either he sends him back or he allows him to pass, but he should collect the money first. Is that what you're saying?
The policeman should collect. So it is an election season. So, and because it's an election season, it is, well adjudged that, it's time for them to dole out those money that have been hiding for long.
You didn't answer my question. No.
I'm coming to answer you fully, my brother. So it is, adjudged that they are going to dole out those money that have been hiding for long. So when it comes, the policeman should take it from him and do the needful.
Okay.
And do the needful.
Okay. The policeman.
Yes.
Okay, good. So the policeman should take the money from them because it's their money.
Yes, it is our money.
Wow. The
ideology is that you don't use what belongs to me. And I don't know whether you hear Igbo. What I hear it is not done. I don't know whether you understand Igbo, but your name is, you're an Igbo man, you are shade. So let
me explain what you have said. You just said you can't use something that belongs to me to be doing me longer truths.
Yeah, longer truths. I
will just go and collect that too.
I will take it by force from you because it belongs to me. It belongs to me.
Exactly. There are so many excuses. So, in fact, there are so many examples. In fact, there's another example that I said, maybe you were here or you were not here. I used the example of someone's daughter, okay? And then I hear, do you have children?
Yes, I have 2 kids.
Okay, so if a politician wants to sleep with your daughter and then give her the money, because it's her money, okay? And your daughter has a husband or a boyfriend, she should sleep with the politician and collect the money, but still go back and sleep with her husband.
My brother, that one is different.
Okay, it's different. Do you know why we are? You know why I like this conversation? You know why I like this conversation? Because you see, there's a lot of assumptions here. You see, you move the post, to suit you. You move it this way. When it's a policeman, it's different. When it's a policeman, it's election period. When it's your daughter, it's different. But it's still your money. Okay. When this old woman, and Energy, I see your hand, I'm going to come to you. So my brother, when old mama, when your mother that you told in the village, I think you know the people that share this money. Do you know have you seen these people that share this money?
Yes, I voted once when I was in Nigeria.
So at least you know how election day is. On that day, the people that carry this money, they have gun, they have acid, they have knife, they have everything. Their eyes are red, they are smoked. You know the kind of people that share this money, Abi?
No, the way we do, the way they do it in our side, that they will call people in the house.
You see your problem. Your problem is that you only see one part. You only see one part. Okay, this is how they do it in your own area, but we're speaking for the whole of Nigeria.
So what they do in my own area. They will call people in
okay, your own area, okay. But let me rephrase
to even they'll give you and told you to make sure you vote, and they will know it is an open ballot. It's a secret ballot, so nobody knows who you voted.
Okay, let me rephrase the question. Okay, do you know that since it's not how they do it in your area, but do you know that in some areas the people that share this money, they use a boss? They are very hard guys, thugs, hardened criminals. Okay, they don't smoke. They have guns. They have guns now. All these party thugs. They have acid. They have knife. They have all these things inside. Okay, they are very bad people. And they are carrying a big money now. It's not small money because they're sharing money. Sometimes they have like 1 million, 2 million in that boss. So they're not joking. Okay. And these people, they come out that day. It's their money. It's not, although you say it's your own money, but they came with this money and they now give it to some people. So assuming these are the kind of people, because you don't know, it's not, unless you're a thug, you don't know the kind of people that they're going to send. You see, that's the problem, my brother. You are a lot of things you have said now is based on an assumption. You assume that day, because
this time around, it's not going to be easy for them because of ESCC, ICPC is going to be out.
Another assumption. This is another assumption.
Something they did on Ondo is Osun State.
But
I was watching channels here, following them. See how EFCC was following them everywhere, every look and cranny.
On TV, Abi. On TV, yes. where there is camera. Where there's camera, okay.
That's what I watched anyway. I was not there.
Good.
That's what I watched.
One thing I like about you is that you're very truthful. So at least we are making some progress. Okay. So because you can only talk about what you know. Me, I ran in an election. So you're focused on one polling station. Me, I was focused on a whole state, not just local government or wards. Okay. So I can tell you that from one polling unit to another polling unit, a lot of scenarios were possible. Okay. So I know. And there is because it is not a business you're into. So maybe you can listen to me describe some things to you as somebody who knows. Okay, you are just an observer, and sometimes you watch on the TV. Okay, so now these thugs, they come to this place, okay, and they call your mother and they give your mother money and they say, "Mama, you go vote for APC." Enugo, Mama will say yes, according to your instructions to Mama. Now, you don't know. Now, somebody has already told you here, because the particular space, the particular spot that they want you to vote for them, from how many meters away, you can tell when somebody is going to that side. Okay, because they don't even put it on a cubicle, they keep it open there. It just go. But even at that, there are so many ways. Somebody can even, there's something called. Hello, can you still hear me? Okay, so there are so many ways to know who actually voted for that person that day. Okay, even if they told Mama, they say, "Mama, when you finish voting, you need to raise your paper up for us." If your mother doesn't raise that paper, that is the beginning of the failing of the instruction. Remember, she has entered into a contract with them. The point I'm trying to make to you is that I hope that you are aware of all of these things before you carry your family and push into what you don't know. It's not just for you to say, take the money. Who are they taking the money from? What is the circumstances surrounding this thing? What is the aftermath of this thing that we are talking about? I don't know if you are, I am not, I don't know how your belief is. I don't know.
Your guess is as good as mine, my brother. Your guess is as good as mine.
So with all of these things, now let me ask you this question. With all of this unforeseen situations that you cannot guarantee will happen, because what you have given us is a scenario a scenario that works, all things being equal. If everything was to go according to the way that you know that they normally go, they should just take the money and go and vote. Of course, those people, you are also assuming that the people sharing the money, they are mumu, but you and your family, you're smart. Okay, so because you and your family are smart, they'll just come and give you the money. You just laugh at them and go and vote for somebody else. Then you just chop their money and go. But have you considered the other aspect where these people know that you are thinking the way you're thinking and they moved ahead of you? If they moved ahead of you to plan more than you, are you still, after knowing that these people can do and undo, you are really still willing to put your mother and your brothers in that harm's way? You will not be there to protect them. Oh. I'm just bringing this to you so that when you are entering into this kind of contract, you're also entering into this kind of contract with people. Like before they came out to that election that day, they went in front of an oracle. They went and put that money there and they swore and they killed something and they poured the blood over that heap of money. And they did all those things and they killed. I hope you know all of these things. So I'm just saying because you have to.
I do understand, but
so
no,
after
wait,
you
my brother.
after you know all these things, so that when you call your mother and say, Mama, this is the money I'm telling you to collect, money that is tiny. It's not even up to the money that you give to your mother every month. I know you send money to your mother, but you are willing, because of that tiny money, you're willing to put her in harm's way. It's okay. Let me hear from Energy and we'll come back to you. Energy, go ahead. And then, oh, sorry, there's, I think there's Sunday. Have you spoken? Yeah, every other person has spoken. Energy, go ahead.
Doctor, I mean, it's interesting that people, I mean, self-delusion is, that's what I want to say. Self-delusion is real. The people that comes out of their house to buy votes, if we want to come on space to think that those people are stupid, that they just give money to you and be like, goodbye, or we'll see you next year. So, and they think that's what happens. That's not what really happened. These are coordinated organization, mafia organization. They know how to get money. They know how to bribe the authority in each polling unit to turn eyes away when they are doing all their shenanigans. So, but when people are like saying, "Oh, don't worry, collect their money," and vote for whoever you want to for, as if those people are just there to dash people money because they have it in abundance. Make we the deceiver. My brother, Mr. Sunday, I bring you a good tidings, and the tidings is Peter Obi will not win. Peter Obi doesn't have a chance. Peter Obi doesn't have any clear path to presidency. In fact, he has absolutely no chance of winning 25% in 20 states of the federation. So when you come and say somebody should step down for him, I think it's another position of the highest order. So if you're actually looking for someone to kick out APC, with your rhetorics, maybe you could explore the party you used to support before, which is PDP. I think that would be your surest bet. And I hear you saying you want to kick out the two old order or something. I don't understand. You're kicking old order and you're replacing it with another old order. So that's why I started my conversation with saying delusion or self-delusion is literally real. And that's, I believe, what you've shown here, my brother. And I will give it to you. You believe in what you believe, and you're not scared of saying it. So I give it to you that you're actually good with that because you see a space full of AAC people, and you came to tell us that our candidates cannot win, and you should step down for your candidate. So I give that to you literally. That takes some boss. But anyways, your candidates have no pathway to victory, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you, Energy. Okay, Hetty, I'm going to come to you, but let's let Motunrayo, go ahead. Hello, Motunrayo, you've not spoken.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your tremendous time and for everything you've been doing in support of Showere. Uh, it is only someone with conscience that will always think about masses and every other people in Nigeria, but not self-thinking. I think the man that I've come to spoke uh, on behalf of his candidate, Peter Obi, is not really seen uh, from 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 deep sense. If they are in spirit, I believe if everyone in Nigeria today understand how they've been manipulating uh, election over them, and which has been creating poverty from one tenor to the other, by now they should know that they supposed to have stopped doing the follow how thing they are doing. It's just like they're a ship that has no direction, that up to today, even in while they were wallowing in poverty, they still cannot see anything. But their instinct is just, you know, crave in the manner of chop and chop. And that is why the country is still in the position where it is. And I hope this election will open people's eyes. The man that says Showore has not been doing anything, he should go back and see uh, what is going on. Showore have done quite more than what the present administrations have been doing, the present and the past, even in his own capacity, without the support of anyone. And he was doing it not just because of himself or because of his family, but he was doing it in order to liberate Nigeria as a whole. I just hope that as we are here tonight again, every other obedience that are here will listen carefully and go back and re examine or assess the candidates. And by now, they should be putting crosses over all the orders that they thought should be representing Nigeria. Please let no one do that for their own selfish interest. Just like you've said, a lot of people have Dr. Chidi have said it. We know how things is working in Nigeria. How the the public out there they put over money, even costing money before they give it out for you not even to be able to think straight. So please, we need to break this chain. We need all this chain has to be broken. Don't collect any money. Don't encourage the whole parents to collect any money. They've suffered enough. Let's move on and now think about the generation to come. We can do it. The 400,000 or how much you're going to collect today would not serve you for 1 year with the living cost of Nigeria today. So why don't you even put that your one vote and that of your family and your grandma together in support of Showere rather than going to look for the old order that they repackage to give to Nigeria? There was this saying that they said new wine, a wine has come out of old wine come out of something and become new. I keep telling myself that is it truly that Nigeria read their Bibles? or their Qurans? How did they make up this order? Please, with your obedience, in the little way I can just say, go back, reassess the candidate, take sentiment out of it. Shiwere have done more than enough to let you to understand that he is the only one that is able, capable to confront all these leaders. And he has showed it in every aspect of his debate. This is what I have. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. And before we go on, I also want to point something out, because, our brother made a statement. He said, and that is where we are at crossroads. You see, there is no politician who stops campaigning because they are sure they will win. I want you to just know that Peter Obi doesn't think that he will win. Atiku doesn't think that they will win. No, let me rephrase it. Peter Obi is not sure that he will win, absolutely sure that he will win.
All right.
Tinubu is not absolutely sure that he will win. Atiku is not absolutely sure that he will win. There is nobody in the country right now that we know that they will win. If there was, then we will not have an election on the 25th. If there was, none of them will be campaigning. The reason why they are campaigning is because they are not sure. So when you come and say somebody knows. That is why you're conducting an election. That's why they are still begging for votes. That's why, so everybody continues to, and there is no politician who wakes up in their house and carries his own votes. No. It is the people. None of them owns any supporter. It is the people. When you and me, if there are 10 of us, if 10 of us go to that person has 10 supporters. If those 10 people come to another person, that person has the 10 supporters. So if all the people that my brother thinks that together with him, they are for Obi, and that's why they think Obi will win. If you turn around and you come to Shore, you will start to think that Shore will win. So if you in your heart, like I know that because you said so, you know that Shore is good. You know that Shore is fearless. You know that Shore is the one that will stand because he has been standing. You said it by yourself. You know all that. Why don't you now carry your mother and your brothers and make sure that the person who you have already said has all those qualities that you're looking for? Why would you allow that kind of thing to waste? Because it is those numbers that moves around one candidate. If you move it to Shore will have the likelihood of winning. So don't you now see that it is us by ourselves that will reject what our heart tells us is the best. Don't go and blame another person. Say the reason why you choose this person, even though that's not the best, is because other people were already there. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. I think it's somebody, the order in which you raise your hand, I think it's Oyetumbi that raised his hand first, then we'll come back to Hetty, Dre, and then Light.
Yeah, thank you, Doctor. So the obedient man that came to speak is even quite polite, which is which is unusual, when obedient speak and they speak about their candidates, they're always very aggressive and rude about pushing their idea. So I commend him for that. It's very civil. So I think I mentioned that Obi does not have the political will to make anything work in the country. If by chance he becomes the president, and I think I need to explain that. Doctor, can you hear me, sir? Hello?
Hello.
Can Can everyone hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you, but I'm
All
Yes.
right,
hearing
all
you.
right, thank you. Yeah. So why I said so is, for an instance now, let's say with the way insecurity is ongoing now, does it make any sense for the security agencies now to meet, in a way to curb insecurity and then invite or visit terrorist leaders, like in formulating policies that would curb insecurity? You know, does that make any sense? Let's say the IG now with the head of the armed forces now, they want to like fashion out a policy that would solve insecurity, and they go ahead inviting the head of Boko Haram, the head of Al Qaeda. Doesn't make any sense. That is exactly what Peter Obi is doing. You want to fix the country. You want the country to work. In their words, they want to bring back the country. I mean, they want to take back the country, even though it is still um, AAC's AAC's world. And in doing that, he visited Obasanjo. In doing that, he visited Babangida and a lot of, known past political leaders that everyone understands that these people led us to where we are currently. I am 101% sure that if Buhari wasn't the incumbent, Peter Obi could have visited Buhari, consulted Buhari on his political ambition. So it does not make any sense. It clearly shows that he doesn't have that political will. He's just being ambitious. It's just, in fact, the only thing that Obi is concerned about, if anyone asks me, is political relevance. Obi just wants to be relevant. Obi understands clearly. Even the man that spoke earlier for Obi is not in any way convinced that he's winning in this election. Because when we even look at it objectively, Obi cannot boast of maybe more than 3 or 4 states in the country where he's from, the Anambra, maybe 1 or 2 more states in the eastern region, and who knows if he's lucky enough to win one from the middle belt. Obi cannot win Lagos. Obi cannot win. Obi would never even get close to winning in any of the southwest. Not He's not going to win in any northern state. So these are facts known by Obi himself. So, but coming out to say because Showore does not have chance in this election, then he should throw his weight behind Obi, or he should give whatever is going to, whatever is going to get in the election, he should give it to Obi by supporting Obi at this time now. I'm sorry to say, but that does not sound logical enough. It doesn't make any sense. Do you think if Showore was not there, I would have voted for Obi? No way, because they are two different people. In fact, there is no similarities at all between Obi and Showore. And that's why I keep telling people that anyone who at one point was for Showore, who now supports Peter Obi, that person was never even for Showore. That person was never for Showore. And I would rather vote for Atiku. Let's say there is no Showore there. There is no good person there. And I must vote for one evil, or one lesser evil, as they say it. And the reason why I would rather vote for Atiku is, why go back door? Because I now see Obi as a back door when I could go through the front door. Instead of supporting Atiku's mentee that I know does not have the chance in the election, that I know is just doing all of this to be relevant politically, and maybe, who knows, is a businessman. At some point, even uh, sell the structure. It happens like that. We still have time. It might be maybe a week to election or something. Some funny things
I
can happen. He's a politician and he's a businessman. So Why not instead of that even follow the main door? This same Peter Obi that they describe as an angel was once a running mate to the known, thief Atiku. If indeed Peter Obi has that political will to make anything work at all in this country, he would not have even thought of associating himself with Atiku. Do you think if there's a picture of Showore with Atiku sitting down together, and I know truly that this is like a private meeting, do you think I will continue supporting Showore? No way, because you cannot, if you are ready to make Nigerian work, there are some persons you never should associate yourself with. This man ran together with Atiku just 4 years ago. I don't know what happens to we Nigerians. Is like sometimes I want to believe that maybe this is even beyond, the physical thing that we can even understand. Because how can you run with Atiku? And people now start seeing you as a saint. People now start seeing you as someone who can even make things work. Trust me, if someone like Soludo was to be in this race, I probably would have supported him. Because even if you would say the truth, the 8 years spent by Obi as a governor of Anambra State amount to almost nothing. He didn't do anything. The same set of people that complained why Obi was the governor, their tweets are still there online. Even if you delete some tweets, technology is now advanced that some tweets that are even deleted, they can still be retrieved. They condemned him while he was still the governor of the state. Surprisingly, because of tribalism now, they are now supporting Obi.
Brother,
I'm in support of
yeah.
Dr. Chidi. Looks like I'm taking too much time.
No, sorry, I just wanted so that other people will just round up so that other
Yeah,
people.
let me just so what I'm saying is Obi does not have the character like I mentioned earlier, and it is obvious because of his association. So don't waste your time. I like the fact that you have you are a concerned Nigeria and you're ready to make the country work. So instead of wasting your time supporting Obi, Showore is a good candidate. Consider him. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, can I come in?
Sunday, yes, I know you might want to say something, so I'm going to give you a chance to say something so you don't feel that we are bullying you on the Showore's platform. And after that, Light, you can say something, and then after you, Hetty, Dre, and then we'll come back to Kingsley. So go ahead, Sunday.
Thank you, my brother. I with due respect, I had everyone, and if your guess is good as mine, all of us are working for the good of Nigeria. And being that we are working for the good of Nigeria, because there are cries, I see things that are happening. People are calling me what's happening in Nigeria daily. It grieves me. So, and if we are, fighting for the good of Nigeria, you don't put down one so that you can be better. It doesn't happen that way. In my language, we say that no, it doesn't happen that way. So my point is that we are talking the same thing, but all of us have a different views. Me, I'm obedient 100%. And you are Showore. You are saying Showore has a better chance to win. Me, I'm saying Obi has a better chance to win. All of them, what they are fighting is for you and I, or for Nigeria to be better. So when we put the two together, we see who is better, who has a better chance. Although I've not been following Showore's campaigns, I've not been following all that he does. I follow what Obi does and everything. So, but with what I have seen Obi has done, and he has sold his message to the Nigerian people. And Nigerian people have bought his message. And that message is you want to move Nigeria from consumption economy to production economy. And you want to give our teeming youths who have been, after graduation, no job, want to engage and empower everyone. So, and Nigerian youth has bought that, that energy, and they are following him. So with what I've known with him and what he has done, anyway, all the criticism that people have criticized him, you see the way he answered yesterday. I was hearing him, was talking in Arise News. The what Tunubu called him, and sorry, Erufai called him, he's a Nollywood actor. You people should have known the answer he gave him. Yeah? He said, if he called me a Nollywood actor, so I'm calling all my Nollywood, producer to support me. Let them support my idea, because somebody has said I belong to you people. So he answered everyone wisely and intelligently. He doesn't call names, So that's the thing. So we are pushing to the same focus. So let's be, let our eyes be single. To me, I know the number of votes that Showore polled in 2015, in 2019. I know. So why, to me, don't criticize me. I'm saying on my own perception. Why wasting that? And
okay.
So
Sunday,
we have more votes than him. That is sure. That is sure.
Okay.
And if we say that Showore is better and I said Obi is better, let's go to the pool and see. We're not going to die. We're going to be alive after 25th and see the result of everything.
Before you go, there are two questions that I want to ask you, and definitely from a Showore person to an obedient person, because we have the privilege of having you in our midst today, and to have you in a way that we are interacting like human beings, not shouting at each other. Now, let me ask you this question, okay? Oh, sorry, there's something echoing. Is it from you?
I don't know, maybe.
No, I think it's Kingsley. Kingsley, let me mute you. Okay, yes, it was from Kingsley. Okay, so Sunday, let me ask you this question, okay? To say, when Obi says, wants to, Kingsley, please mute yourself for now, okay? Okay, when Obi says he wants to move the country from consumption to production, why do you believe him based on what he has done before?
Okay. Why I believe him is, according to him, because I'm quoting him, he has traversed across Nigerian northern states. So he said, all those vast lands in the north, they are lying waste. So we can convert those lands to agriculture. You get it? So, and there are so many minerals lying waste in the north alone. And in that part of the country is also judged as the poorest state, poorest region. So, and they have so much, but their leaders are not utilizing what they have, but they're running to Abuja, leaving what you have at your backyard. So to him to discover that somebody has something in his backyard and is not using it. So it is a milestone already. So
okay, thank you. Don't worry, I'm trying to get to somewhere. That's why I asked you this question. So the reason why you believe him is because of what he's told you. Okay, now, and you clearly said you're quoting him. See, I really like you the way you approach issues. You're not people like you, I really want to relate with you, because there are people who are out there. They know what they're doing. They're very mischievous, but you are talking from, like, you see, you talk as you understand something, you just say it out there. People like you, they are good because you just see it, you just bear your mind in your very simple way. And that's why we're having this discussion. Now, let me take it a little bit further. Now, what business, Obi said he's a trader, right?
Yes.
What kind of business was he doing or is he into?
Okay. The business, because I've done my own research myself. So the business that he does is he does buy and sell. And the kind of buying and sell he does is, he has a supermarket. I hope you know this Nest Cash and Carry. He owns it. He buys. When I went to Port Harcourt last year, I came back to Nigeria. I went to see my wife in Port Harcourt. I went to his Nest and to go and buy. Even that time is not even only contesting, but because I know that that kind of love, I went there to go and buy things.
Thank you, Sunday. Thank you, Sunday. You're really answering my question. When you went to that next supermarket, how did you see that place? Was it up to the standard of where you were? Did you see like foreign, or was it just local, normal? What did you have like some solid foreign things in that next supermarket? Was it up to standard, like abroad something?
Because of the place I stay. Over here, I stay in Niger Republic. The quality things here, they bought it from France. They bought it from France.
So
and
where do you think the things that you saw in that next supermarket, where do you think they came from?
No, they came from abroad. He imported some of them. Some of them are Nigerians. Some of them are imported.
Okay, good. At least like one thing I like is that he's running a business that more than 95% of the things there are high quality things that are imported from abroad, China, US, right? Okay, good. Now, we agree to that. Now, so those things that were manufactured, produced, imported from outside the country, how did that help the production, the manufacturing industry in Nigeria? Did it help them?
No. See,
okay.
Before I answer you,
I'm coming.
The better question is, could they be produced in Nigeria, in Aba, in Awka?
We are going to even come to that. Thank you very much. So Sunday, you see, this is why we're having this conversation, because your mind, your spirit is good. Your spirit is pure. You do what you're doing and you're sincere enough to say, according to this person, you're the kind of person that if you saw the truth, you will go that way of the truth. I'm trying to tell you here, my brother, that your candidate who you actually really believe in and you're following says with his mouth that he is going to turn the country from a consumption economy to a production economy. What he means is that he will turn the country from a country that runs like his supermarkets, that doesn't sell things that are produced in Aba, Onitsha, Enugu, but goes to China, goes to Indonesia, and makes the production in those areas to boom and kills the production that is in Nigeria. That is what he is doing, no? But he comes and tells you that he is going to do different, and you believe him. Why?
Okay. Why I believe him is that because he's not in power. The government.
Okay. So it takes. See, my brothers.
Sorry.
I will let you clear me. I will let you answer. Let me explain, and then I'll let you talk. I'll let you go. This kind of discussions are very important because there are rhetorics, there are things that people just say for saying's sake. But talk is cheap, okay? If somebody is a thief and all his life he's been stealing And then he comes to me and he says, I am going to build church. And all his life, he's been building only, hotels for prostitutes. He has been a pimp. He's the one that organizes prostitutes for people. And then when I asked him, what's he going to do? He said he's going to build a church. He's going to build only a mosque. He's going to do only religious things. And then I now look at his past. And I'm asking somebody, why do you believe that this person? You not tell me that the reason why he did it was because he was not the president. So you are now trying to tell me, before you now start answering, that the only time that somebody can turn his country into a producing economy is when they become the leader, that in their own small way. You speak Igbo to me. Igbo proverb also says, that means charity begins at home. Isn't that what they said? So if you cannot, in your small business, encourage that thing that you're telling me you will do on a bigger platform, what is the guarantee that when you become the president controlling the whole economy, that you will not sell us all to China, where you already have made this time you are going to China, the government does not prevent him from buying goods from Abao. The government does not prevent him from bringing that factory here, building it in Nigeria. And it's not, no, the government did not stop him. But let me allow you to explain.
My brother, you said it is a discussion, but you took over the whole issue. What I want to explain is that, when there's a capacity a man can go when he's in authority, there are some things a man can do, and he's limited to do it because there's no space for him. So Obi is a trader, and everybody knows about it. Everybody, even he doesn't even hide it. He imports most of his items from abroad and sells here. And not that he imports things that are dangerous to Nigeria or the banned items. He imports things that Nigerians need themselves. Now, he now comes, because of the experience he has gotten. He said, if you listen to him when he went to Aba, you will listen to what he said. He said he's going to turn Aba, that what Aba people are producing, Nigerians produce things and they will stick a tag that is coming from Italy. So that's our mentality, that things that come from abroad is what is quality. But what is produced in our backyard is lower quality, even with all that you do. See, because of the packaging, our problem is packaging. We have the good stuffs, but we don't know how to package. And packaging costs money. I am into, there is what I sell here in Nigeria. I bought it from Nigeria. And that product, they manufacture it in Lagos. If I call the plant is in Ogun State, opposite a Deeper Life campground in Mowe, Ogun State. So and the packaging was good. When I bring it here to sell, people they are thinking that it comes from China because of the way the man packaged it. So, and it costs money. When I was talking with the man last 2 months, he said he got 400 billion from CBN, because before that, his packaging was rough, not good. We have been complaining, that customers are complaining that packaging is not good. He said we should have patience with him, that he want to get a loan from the federal government. He later acquired loan from CBN, 400 billion. So after that, he now changed his packages and everything, because he imported some engines that will smoothen the gallons and everything. So these are the things. So, and there are a whole lot that he could do as a person. But when he gives him power, there's a whole lot that he will do. Then he will change everything.
Mr. Sunday, can I ask you a question, sir? Can I ask you a question, sir?
Are they 1 second? I'll let you ask. But Sunday, you know what? Sunday, do you know what you have just described right now? And I don't know why you people don't see it. You're saying one thing. You look, you're preaching, but you can't even hear yourself. You just described a man in Nigeria. This transaction between you and this man in Nigeria is you Sunday, I will vote for you. I will vote for that man. Two of you, you don't know the impact of this story you told us about you and the man manufacturing there. But you are here defending somebody who did not even do anything. He just gave himself an excuse, and he was engaged in an activity that killed industries. This activity of importing things, there is no excuse. You don't have to, because when he was enriching himself and his family to the detriment. Do you understand? So I don't know. You should listen to yourself when you are defending. But wait. No. See, I allowed you. I allowed you.
Mr. Sunday,
I allowed you to talk. Well, let's hear the question that Ade wants to ask you.
Okay, so he was governor for 8 years. You know, if you were governor for 8 years, let me put it on myself. I was governor for 8 years, and I know that I'll be starting next supermarket in maybe 4 years after I leave office. What prevents me from starting a free trade zone in Oka and tell those traders in Oka, you know, build factories across Oka, give them good roads, and after I leave office, I start next, and those products being produced in Oka, employing thousands and thousands of people in Oka, you know, those good goods, I put them in my store in Nest. I build next store in Abuja, in Lagos, and I make money, and at the same time employing people in Oka. What prevents me from doing
that? No, there's nothing that prevents him from doing that. Okay, but what I'm trying to let you know is that the situation on ground, there's no support for him to do that. And if you look at the kind of person that he is, I'm sorry. If you look at the I'm coming. If you look at the type of person that he is, it's not the kind of person that supports getting he's a man that wants to.
He's a gentleman. He's a gentleman. He doesn't like trouble.
Make do with what he has.
No, you know that those money kept in the bank. We build highways, we build factories, would even incentivize those traders in Aba, those big traders, to build factories in Aba. You know that, right?
I know that.
Anyway, you know what I like about this discussion, and like
this is telling.
Let's not be an argumentative section, as you said. Let's not be an argumentative. So what you know, what we know, and what I know. So
no, Sunday, let me tell you something. It's not argumentative. If you know, you have been so.
The way you do this is
Sunday, hold on. Sunday, hold on. Kinsley, I'm going to let you talk, but there's an echo in your own. That's why you need to go back and come in. Yeah, there's an echo there. Sunday, I need to, if you heard, it's not me. I didn't tell the people that spoke in your favor to speak. They listen to you, and you can hear speaker after speaker engaging you. Nobody's arguing with you. Honestly, they've told you that they respect you. They acknowledge the fact that these people have been on Twitter since this election. They've been here hotter than me and you. And they can tell you that the way you have presented yourself has created the opportunity for this dialogue. We're having a dialogue. It's not argument. You're bringing your points out of a sincere disposition. And we're bringing our own too, out of our genuine disposition. And you can see clearly, you are defending the person that is not even here. You're the person that built, you said he built next supermarket. You said he imported goods. You turned around now and say that you're making excuses for him. It is not only him, we are using him as an example, and we're telling you that all the people that had money to import things, that if they had channeled that money to producing, like your friend, your supplier in Ogun State there, if everybody was like that man, we would probably have provided more jobs. But you see, all the youths that were looking for jobs, they didn't have a job. Meanwhile, the imports that were coming from Indonesia, from China, from India, they were providing jobs for thousands of those people. And when they bring the jobs here, we were taking the money from our people, and then we are sending it back to the China and Indonesia and all of those places. But thank you. The discussions, it is not to win an argument. It is to expose. People are listening to us. They are learning. They are understanding.
To enlighten ourselves. There's nobody.
Good. So I'm going to go to Kingsley. Kingsley, let's see if your thing is okay now. No. It's not okay. It's not okay. It's bad. No. Yeah.
Is it okay now?
Yeah. No, but I can see hear myself. Just okay, hold on. I'm going to remove you. Okay? Just you come back, okay?
Okay.
So Kingsley is going to come back to the speaker section, and then I'll give him an opportunity to talk. You see, if only they would allow this kind of discussions in spaces. But you know, the people who don't allow this kind of discussions, they are the mischievous. They know that it is not about, it's about saving our future. It's about enthroning truth. It's about enthroning the best person with the best ideas based on what they have done before. You see, when you find yourself making a lot of excuses, first of all, Obi says, I will not probe anybody. Then when we now say, what do they mean that Obi cannot probe somebody? People say, no. It's not that he will not probe that person. You know, he's a gentleman. He's first of all, he has to first of all deceive them that he will not probe them. Then after, he will not probe them because those people are mumu. Just like now, he will now say, go and collect money from the people because they are mumu. How do you keep thinking that these people are mumu all the time? We're going to do what we're doing because they won't understand. We will just do it, and then they will now come back and Hetty Dre, go ahead, please.
Thank you for the discussion. I just really want to chip in something because that's where I think the confusion sets in. Sunday mentioned something that we are all fighting for the same thing. I think I beg to disagree. We are not fighting for the same thing because there's always that confusion. So what Showore is fighting for is not the same thing that Obi is fighting for. And we can say this thing just using policy. What is the policy of Obi, for instance, on removal of subsidy, oil subsidy? He said he's going to remove oil subsidy. Showore said he's not going to remove oil subsidy. How are we fighting for the same thing? When it comes to education, Showore said education is going to take the large chunk of his budget. It's going to provide free education from primary to university level, and he even pay undergraduates grants and money. Is that the position of Obi? That's not the position of Obi. Showore said 1999 constitution is a fraud, and we need to have a people's constitution for the first time. Obi is not saying that we need to have a new constitution. How are we fighting for the same thing? If it comes to issue of probe, like Dr. Chidi mentioned, Showore said everybody that stole our money, they must be held accountable for stealing our money. Obi said no, he's not interested in proving people that stole our money. How are we fighting for the same thing? If you go to the issue of judiciary, Showore said judiciary is very corrupt and it's for the rich, and is going to transform that judiciary. Obi has never criticized judiciary for once, even though they're always giving Jankara judgments every day. how are we fighting for the same thing? So we are not fighting for the same thing. We have different goals. So we should not confuse it together. And I can go on and on policing, for instance, police reform. What is the position of Shore? Shore will tell you that the Nigerian police is created to protect the powerful in the society and to oppress the poor in the society. And we must create a new police system that will protect ordinary people and not just the powerful. This guy, Peter Obi, he was even accused by the SARS panel and he refused to even go there. How are we fighting for the same thing? So I think we always need to clarify, even though we are against the system, Obi wants power. We just don't want power. We want a better society. So we are not fighting for the same thing. Our goals are not the same thing. So you cannot tell Showore to step down for Obi. They are not fighting for the same thing. The same way I will not tell Obi to step down for Showore. We are in a different team. He's playing in another league. We are playing another league. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, my brother. I really, really appreciate your comments. And I must never I must never stop appreciating our obedient brother for allowing us to have this heartfelt discussion. Lights, over to you.
Sorry,
Yes,
Lights, before you go, sorry. Mr. Etidre, you said something about...
I've been here
No,
for a very long time. Let me
I
go
will return the mic. I will return the mic. I'm sorry. I will return the mic. I just want to pinpoint something Mr. Etidre said. She already didn't say he won't remove the subsidy. She already said there is nothing like subsidy at all. The last interview with Christopher and the rest, he said there is nothing like subsidy. So I think we should clear that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Lights, go ahead. Sorry for the long delay.
Yeah, that's fine. Etidre, again, thumbs up. I mean, that's exactly what I think the conclusion is. Like when people come up and say they are working, we are working for the same thing. I think that is the foundation of the conclusion, and we must be consciously addressing that. I think you did that. I mean, that was why I raised my hand, because that was how our brother started, and I see that that's the. I mean, it's not it when I hear that, because that's what is confusing. Same people actually that really want good country. They feel like we are fighting. We are never fighting for the same thing. I mean, it's like black and white, like front and back. We are not fighting for the same thing. And I mean, Etidre has done justice to that. But to really expatiate that, I mean, just to know that we are not fighting for the same thing, and Shore is different from. You cannot just put Shore in the same sentence with the person of Obi and say you are making nice comparison. Ask yourself, if Shore is not in this political season, I mean, some of the things you've heard expose from meetings, for example, the one that happened in some of the conferences they have attended, NBA, the signing of peace accord. Sorry, if Shore has merged with your preferred candidate, nobody will be talking. Everybody was observing table manner. Even when Shore talked, the grandfather of political, whatever you can call it in Nigeria, never denies it. He said, if you become president, it means some of us will leave. If people who are strong and mighty that your candidate is worshiping could attest to that, what more do you need? And somebody once said something earlier in this space, said, Obasanjo and those Obi and all that because of that. Okay, I think Oyetunde said this. I remember he said, how will you want to plan the security of a country that you are making that plan with terrorists. So I just want to say that wasn't even the case for Oyetunde. The case was that if you listen to the spokesperson of article, not I used to forget Bala, right? The other guy that lives in abroad. He said something. He said Obasanjo was the one that actually coordinate people who are working for Obi, including the spokespersons. that he reached out to him even before. So Obasanjo doesn't just endorse Obi. Obasanjo is part of the foundation. They were the one, making the structure. They planned everything before it blossomed. So let's not deceive ourselves. If you really want to go into deep, so they are not just endorsing. It's not endorsements. Obasanjo formed the basis and the foundation, including reaching out to the powerful people in PDP that have worked with him before to form whatever you see today. I mean, Peter Obi bought PDP form now, and he left PDP a week and 3 days to the primary of PDP. So, having said that, by that we're not fighting for the same thing, and then I'm trying to portray that it's not just endorsement from these people. And that's whenever I hear we are taking back our country from the conscious Nigeria who really wants Nigeria to work, and they are supporting Obi, I feel so ashamed that is it that I wish shamed that for us to just because it doesn't take you too much stress of thinking to know that that's not going to be true. So foundation made by Babangida and the evil genius. I mean, when you say you want to take Nigeria back, from where and from what? And that's the example of the consumption that we're talking about. Yeah. And my brother wants to defend the fact that it's not in power, and that's why it's important things. However, consider the fact that importation is the reason why you don't have production in the country from the past. That's one. Number two, have you ever considered the fact that the person you are talking about is not just ordinary Nigeria, is a billionaire. I think in dollars. I think he was even saying he has money than one president. So these are the people that get things done that nobody even asks them. They cannot even point to something that has hindered him from producing or start production as they monopolize. And if you look at millionaires in Nigeria or billionaires in Nigeria, some of them involved in one polarizing something or the other to make themselves rich. And in his own case, this same thing is promising is what he has benefited from monopoly of importation, right, of beverages that make him billionaire. And then this same person is telling us. And lastly, to not hold my too much for a long time, is that Nigeria needs to sit back and analyze our situation. Nigeria does not lack people with promises. I have never seen anyone who won election in Nigeria, including the chairman of government, who has not, even councillor, who doesn't promise people. People have been voting people based on their promises. So, what does that tell us? It means that we shouldn't go beyond people promising. We should go, Nigeria needs character, consistency from people who are saying whatever they are saying. If people have been doing the little they've been promising, Nigeria will not be like this. So the problem we're having now, the situation we have now is not because we don't have people who have promised sweet things. Now, somebody was telling me, convincing me to look at the office side and telling me that he answered questions. He answered it very well because he said, "If you call me actor, then I belong to actor, let actor perform." People have been saying these sweet things for a very long time. What has led us? I mean, we should now look for character. We should look for, because if you promise me something, then what will make me believe you should be your past? How concepts are built in? How will I believe somebody who sworn that if I leave a party, my family should die, and the person left without looking back? How will I leave somebody who works with a known, everybody knows a man that who worked with a man that his age, who has worked with him before, released his voice, and last week he was interviewed by, I think, BBC, and they said, "What of the voice? Is it your voice?" He said, "The voice does not reveal any new thing." It added oppressor who worked with him for 4 years and doesn't have anything bad with it, and it even come out to say that whatever you guys are saying about him is not true. He's a leader, he's a mentor, he's a this, he's a that. What kind of character is that? And that character is telling us that we should believe him, and we are believing him based on what? That's my question. I think Nigeria needs a character, not technocrat, not somebody that will promise. We just need a president who will not be under influence of any godfather, who will be able to hire people who are fit to do certain things. President is just a human resources manager. And the reason why we're having this problem is that So far, we're having presidents who cannot work independently because they have influence of something or the other, and also their character is not consistent. Shore is a man with, you can equate Shore to be integrity and consistency. Each day, each time, it doesn't change. These are the people that will tell you that tomorrow, if I go to this place, I will do this, then you can believe them. Ask yourself, any of those characters, any other character that have this required characters, if you ask me about Nigeria. So if the rep tells me anything, I would like doubt it because he has never changed in his, whatever it says he will do is what he will do, even when it costs his life, he stays by what he says. And I think that's what we should be looking out for, not promises. And that's why I don't get people on past maybe their 8 years of work. I don't even talk about it because that's not what we need now. If 8 years of experience, if experience at all has been our problem, Buhari should be best in security, right? So that's not our problem. Our problem is that we have some people who feel not only feel, they act as if they are the owners of Nigeria. And for you to get Nigeria away from them, you need somebody who is fearless, who has integrity, who has nothing to be nailed upon him to lead the fight. Guys, Nigeria, let's support you. Let's really lead the fight. Let's support him. Let's get our country to work for all of us and not for the majority, for the minority who are holding us to ransom. Because if you put any of them there, like I said in summary to my brother Sunday, if Obi becomes president, which I'm not saying coming, right, he will only do one thing and one thing alone: protect the interest of oppressed. And from the last tweet, you can see that happening. I just hope that we can think again about our decision. I really wish us a good country soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Light. I'm going to go to Ade West, but before that, Ade West and then Chinedu.
Can Chinedu go first?
Okay, go ahead, Chinedu. Chinedu, you're on. Go ahead, Chinedu. It looks like you're having problem with your mic. Chinedu, is your mic on? Okay. While we're waiting for Chinedu to fix his mic, I'm going to bring in someone you just requested. Hey, Dola Ido. Dola Ido. Chinedu, is your mic okay now? You want to come on? Okay. Chinedu's mic is still having a problem. Dola Ido, go ahead. Oh, well, hold on.
I was just going to, Chidi, I was just going to volunteer my services. If you need co-hosting, I can co-host for you if you want.
Yes.
Yeah. Because, that's all I've got to say, because we're all going to be saying the same thing anyway. We all believe in the same thing, so I can co-host for you if you want.
Okay, yeah, I just invited you. But Chinedu, thank you so much, Dola. Chinedu, go ahead. Once more, I'm trying to get Chinedu's mic working. Yeah, I think it's on now. Go ahead, Chinedu.
All right. So what I'm saying in this issue is that what you are saying, everybody's saying is an opinion. And let us try to channel it into one side. You people are saying about Shore, and another person is talking about Obidient. So you have to look into this matter clearly. It's not really what the people are taking it to. As in coming about what Shore is doing or what Shore has done in the past.
Yeah. Chinedu, I think maybe it's the network that is making your own. It comes on and off, on and off. So I'm gonna go to Samuel. Samuel, Go ahead. Samuel, you can unmute yourself and speak. Samuel, can you hear me? I hope it's not from me.
I can hear you. I don't know what, maybe they might be busy.
Okay,
good. I
good.
can hear you. I can hear you. So.
Okay, good. So, Samuel, if you're not on, Chinedu, you're not able to come on. Then anybody in the speaker section who wants to say something, please let me know. And if you also want to come up and speak, go ahead. Madam H.O., I can see you in the listener section. It would be nice to have you on the speaker section. I sent you an invite to speak. So please check and accept that invite. I did send you an invite. If you're I can see you're there. African Nerd Fedora, I see a lot of you guys in the speaker section. So please don't feel shy to accept the invite and speak if you if it is convenient for you. I know for some of us we are very, very okay.
If Chuka's requested and I've accepted him.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, Chuka's he's requested and I think he wants to say something.
Okay. Go ahead, Chuka.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. So, I want to first say that I'm fully obedient, fully obedient. And I will also add that for Shore, I actually love Shore. I wouldn't lie about that. I've been following Shore for so many years, and I think he's someone that's very, very sincere. From what I hear, what he says, he is very, very sincere. And I wouldn't tell anyone that is actually a Shore fan or a Shore voter to, change his mind to vote Peter Obi. If you believe in Shore, by all means, please vote for him. If you want to canvass votes for Shore, by all means, please canvass votes for him. If you are an obedient and you believe, deep in your heart, that you believe that we need change in this country, please vote for Peter Obi. Why am I saying this? I'm from Anambra State, and sincerely, before I started, I used to be a PDP. In fact, I'm still a PDP member because I never decamped. When Peter Obi became the governor of Anambra State, I will tell you, I was one of his biggest critics. When he started as a PDP member, we fought him, we did everything. But there's something this man did. He remained whatever he believes in, what he wants to do, he does it. He never changes his stance if he feels that this is what the people want. What he did in Anambra State, he made sure that he followed because Anambra is a state that you have a lot of billionaires, a lot of interest groups. If you want to, if he wanted to please all of them, it might not really be possible. But what he did was he made sure he bought over the minds of the poor people in Anambra. He bought over their minds. When they were talking about roads, he made sure he builds all the roads in Anambra were connected. That was why the farmers in Anambra were able to bring up their goats. When it comes to education, he really did wonderful in education. The primary school in my village was touched. They had vans. He fixed up the classrooms. He provided them with computers, and they were all doing well. Before P2B came in as a governor, Anambra was known as a state that everybody, everyone wants to go to start business. No one wants to really go to school. But from the inception of P2B being the governor, we started the mindset of an Anambrarian started changing. You start seeing people that are in main market, men that are in main market. They want to go to nice school. Most of them went to school and graduated because they now see that, look, if P2B as a trader is encouraging people to do so, and people are going to school and getting university certificates, they also can do it. You see people in main market making sure that they send their kids to the best schools. After going to school, they come back in that trade. I overheard when you were asking someone question about what P2B was doing about his importation and everything. I think the guy that was trying to answer the question didn't really know about P2B's business. I have been in business for so many years. I was in business with my dad when we used to we sell building materials. Then they have a lot of companies that produce most of those during the military. Before during the military, it started getting worse and worse and worse. We have a lot of companies that produce all those building materials. We are distributors. We buy from them and still sell in Nigeria. But after a while, most of those industries and factories.
Chief Chuka.
Okay, yeah. What?
We need to get rid of all the niggers.
No, guys, we don't do this. Okay,
The niggers have to go.
Okay.
I am tired of you Nigerians stealing my money and robbing me.
Okay.
I don't know who you are, but you can't do it. You do not do it, whatever your name is. It's not your space.
We're gonna have to deal with this. Sorry, guys. There's always gate crashers in. We can't help it if people. Goodbye to you, Big Kitty. But you know what? It'll be interesting to find out from this Big Kitty. Maybe somebody duped her. You never know. You know me. You guys know me. I'm a very, very. I don't get harassed easily. So, Big Kitty, I'm going to unmute you. Okay. I want you to calm down and say whatever you want to say. Okay. You are in a Nigerian platform. We're Nigerians. If someone scammed you, just take it easy. I'll give you a chance. But once you start cussing us, I'm going to block you, okay? So I'm going to allow you. You will usually let people take their turns and speak, okay? You didn't do that. That was not good. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a chance to, even though you badged in on the person that was speaking, but I'm going to also plead for no. We're gonna be civil. So I'm gonna apologize to Chief Chuka, who you took his time. Chuka, please finish. Big Kitty, just hold your peace. I'm gonna let you talk, okay? So Chief Chuka, please finish. Chief Chuka, you can unmute yourself and finish. And Big Kitty, you will not
okay.
Stop him. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, it's okay. I don't mind. It happens. I respect everyone. I do respect Chidi. I do respect you so much. For what you do. Like it's good to bring up a platform where people air their mind without fear of attacks and everything. I do respect what you do, and I appreciate. And trust me, I don't really see it as anything. So coming down to what you were telling the other guy about importation. Remember, a lot of companies, old companies then folded in Nigeria. A lot of companies folded. What P2B was doing mainly, P2B was mainly a distributor. And don't forget, this man was a chairman of a bank. While he was in the bank, I can tell you, I know a lot of friends of mine that benefited from him. People that wanted to open up like factories, people that wanted to open up companies, they really benefited from him. They wanted loans. They wanted loans that are not because when you go to some Nigerian banks, they give you the interest rate is over 20%. So he helps you, to manage you, give you, wouldn't really give you loans that like, cut your head. He did that. Innocent came in Anambra. He helped Innocent. Juhel Pharmaceuticals was there in Anambra. There's so many factories that sprang up during P2B's tenure. So many. Like you can't count it. So many. So like,
can you round up? And I wanted to also bring you back to the main topic. It's not like a campaign that we're running, even though it's a platform where we're letting people talk. But the main thing we wanted to focus on was his advice for people to collect money and still vote for him. What do you have to say about that? And when you do that submission, this big kitty, Dollar, I hope you didn't. I hope you didn't remove Big Kitty.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so
because it's just best. I was just firm about the fact that he or she, whoever they were, interrupted Chief Chuka, and I don't like that.
It's
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's okay. So, Chief Chuka, please answer. Make a submission on this aspect of collecting money and still voting. Speak to that.
Okay, thank you. When I started was when you were asking someone about example about a man with his wife or his daughter. If someone tells you your daughter collect money and then to sleep with her and everything, you ask that person. That was when I started the program. And actually, that's a question doesn't really interpret what it doesn't really follow with the thing in hand. We know that in Nigeria, a lot of people are hungry. Like a lot of people can't afford to eat 3 square meals. It's very hard for you to see someone that his children are hungry and then they see 5,000 naira in their face and don't want to collect it. It's really very, very hard because Nigerians are in survival mode. So when Peter Obi now said, "Oh, collect that money and still vote for me," yes, fine and good. You might go to I know how the polling because I've been in the elections, try to contest at one point in time, so many years ago. Sometimes when you go to that polling booth, the people giving you that money are like watching you to make sure that you are really, they have spies to make sure that you're really voting for who they want you to vote for. But by all means, if you see that you can't really collect that money and still vote for Peter Obi, then if you're an obedient, please don't collect the money and still vote for Obi. But if you can't collect that money and make sure that your children don't die of hunger, or for maybe your children, you want to buy some meds for your children. If you want to collect that money and buy those drugs for your children and still vote for Obi, by all means do that. I think that is what Peter Obi is trying to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chuka. But what I was gonna say, if you actually know that these people are hungry, and why don't you just share the 5,000 to them so that they just take the money and still vote for you?
No. Peter Obi was saying if an opposition, let's say an APC member, I know Shore wouldn't give you any money. You understand? Because I trust him. If an APC member gives you money to vote for him,
let me tell you one funny thing. Obidients will say we don't give shishi. We don't have shishi, so we don't even talk about giving. We don't operate on a large budget. But anyway, I hear you. I hear what you said. Like I said, this is a forum that is set up for people. When you speak, we're all intelligent. We hear.
Yeah.
We know that you know when you've run into a hitch. And the reason for doing this is to give an opportunity for people to hear everybody and hear where they're coming from. As people are listening to you, they're nodding their head and they're like, okay, now I see. Because I can hear you say, if once you begin to have those ifs and ifs, at least it clears the road and makes it clear to someone who is trying to engage in this fact, in this act, to know that it is not as easy as it sounds. It is necessary that we point out the dangers associated with it, so that you don't think that it's just going to collect money from people. Because when you just say go and collect money from people and you don't, that's why I was making an effort to paint that picture of what that day looks like, what that activity looks like, and I'm glad that you confirmed it. So that in itself is good. But I thank you for coming and sharing your thoughts with us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, we've lost the lady. I like when interesting people like that come. We would have been able to hear one or two interesting things. I'm hoping she'll be able to come back. I really wish she was here. That would have been an opportunity to hear one or two things. I know maybe one Niger guy don't make the woman they run mad. She will just give us some spice. But I'm happy that we are all expressing ourselves. As we express ourselves from a position of sincerity, it helps us to understand the decisions that we are making. You see, it's always good for someone to make their decision out of an informed opinion. The opinion you're trying to express is based out of information, good information. You are sure and you are persuaded in your heart that this is the right decision based on your clear understanding of the real situation at hand. At that point, when you make that decision, you just stand by it. Whatever comes out of it, comes out of it. But if you just make decisions based on what you think that the other person is thinking or what people are saying, it never ends well because you didn't see everything that is involved in that decision taking. People in the speaker section, the mic is open. If you want to grab the mic and say something, you're welcome to. Those of us that are listening, you're also welcome to request the mic. I think we'll be ending this. We have to end in about 26 minutes from now, I'd say, because it's very late all over the place, and we have to. Madam H.O., I did see you. Be like say you don't want to talk or you don't know how to operate this Twitter space. You know say they yap too. Madam H.O., waiting be your own now. I don't send the invitation. Just click the invitation. Click the answer. Click. You go take requesting to speak. Make you just click on. I don't say you know be Twitter person. You go see that invite. Click on the invite, Madam H.O. Make you come in, come talk. Come on now. Wanda, have you spoken? Wanda, I don't think you've spoken. I saw you take the thing before, and then all of a sudden I didn't see you. So you have an opportunity to pick the mic and speak. But one thing I can tell you clearly this night is that this idea of collecting money and still voting for the candidate is a very, very dicey and slippery suggestion. It is not a suggestion you look somebody in the face and you tell them, go there and do it. I'd rather you just avoid the money. How much is it? Like all the trouble, all the problem that follows that money, it's not worth it. This is my own opinion. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to take it. But as someone who has, and I don't say it to brag, but then again, I have bragging rights for that too. It didn't come easy to actually go down, spend more than 7 months in Nigeria and do the whole campaign stuff, do this, the local government to local government, market to market, village to village, town hall to town hall, put up banners, put up billboards, brand vehicles, have a campaign team. It's not easy. Okay, so having participated in that, I can tell you from a position of very credible information that it is one of the most dangerous ventures you can get yourself into. Stay clear. Just go vote and go home. Don't get engaged. Sometimes in the heat of the moment, we just say things without thinking. This, for me, was a big gaffe that I know P2B committed here. But Obidients are not going to accept it, which is still fine with me. But I can tell you, I would rather you avoid it. Take it as a suggestion from me. Take it as an advice from me. Just avoid that money. It will not kill you. If it didn't kill you up to that time, please. Because if you start collecting money, where are you going to stop? There are people who go and steal. They steal other people's money. It's just like Robin Hood. They steal other people's money and people tell you, don't worry. If they spray the money, collect it. After all, it's other people's money. After all, it's no. It doesn't work that way. Something that is bad is bad is bad. The people that are giving that money, they are as good as criminals, as thieves. Did you ask yourself where they got that money from? Did you ask yourself if they killed someone and sacrificed their blood and then they brought that money? Do you want to be part of it? Why? You don't want to be part of it. You don't want anything to do with it. Election money, do you know what they did? Do you know, we agree that they stole the money. Do you know what they stole the money from? Okay, if it is your money, how about if it was money that was meant to be used to build a hospital and they didn't build that hospital and then people died because there was no hospital? Or that was money that was supposed to be used to provide first aid, build a maternity clinic for a pregnant woman. But then, because they hoarded that money to distribute during the election, pregnant women went to have babies and they died during childbirth because that facility was not built. That is the same money they are bringing to share, and somebody's telling you to collect that money. No, it's not just the kind of money that you eat. You don't know, but you already told yourself that that money is from bad people. Bad people are bad now. So wherever they collected the money, it's from a bad source. Don't just say it's your money. It's not your. How do you know it's your money? How do you know that the money that is then in that case, every money is your money now. If money that they are giving you are because you don't let me tell you the truth. You have no confirmation that that money is your money. All you know is that it is money. That's all you can say. Somebody's just trying to give you money. That's all. You can't confirm that that money is government money. You don't know where they got that money from. Okay? So just stay away from that money. And Obidients, if you guys want to be sincere, just find a way to communicate to P2B that, okay, this particular one, that one, it will put our people in trouble. Anyway, you know what, guys? I don't think there's any need to prolong this thing. I think we might as well just close here. If anybody has any last comments, you can unmute your mic and say so. Dola, do you want us to keep going? What do you think, my co-host? Dola, don't sleep on me. Dola, where are you?
Maybe he's sleeping.
My last comment before we sign off is let's vote for P2B, Labour Party, and inshallah, come February 2025, we return Mr. Gregory Odu as Nigerian president. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for your submission. Do we have any other?
Yeah, I think I said
Yes.
something.
Okay. All right. Um,
I'm on, right?
who
Okay.
who is speaking?
Yeah, I think I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, Chief Sugar, go first.
Okay, okay. I will just I think I will just do the same line with the speaker before me, uh if you're a voter, personally I know I won't be able to vote because I'm not in Nigeria right now. But if you're gonna vote,
Hey, shut up. I
vote
just have
for
one thing to say to you.
what? What is
Okay, is another crazy. They like this our thing, no problem. And they've gone off again. So Chief Chuka, just round up quickly. Let's close up the place.
Okay, I think vote whoever you feel vote whoever you feel that will be.
Okay. Hold on. Let me get this person out, and we'll continue. Yeah, go ahead, Chuka.
Okay, yes, vote whoever you feel that that will be better for Nigeria. And let me just say one thing: there is no candidate. Me being someone that advised for election before, if you told me that I wouldn't win, I wouldn't believe it. Every candidate feels in his mind that going into election that he's going to win that election. And what I know that we should encourage Nigerians. Whatever happens, whether if PTB wins or not, whoever wins. But if the whole country, everybody, like especially all these big political parties, sees that every Nigerian youths are really interested about what they do when they get into it will really change. It will really change things for the better, no matter what happens. I pray for PTB. I hope he wins, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, guys. This is a platform that is a platform that is proudly moderated by Moyele Shore supporters. We know we have the true message. We know that we stand on things that will make the country move forward. We have presented our case. We don't move. We don't jump around. We are consistently consistent. Now, it is left for Nigerians. They miss it. Well, they lose. That's all we can say. If they don't make the right choice, if they don't choose Omoyele Shore, unfortunately, they'll still be talking about this same issue by this time. Unfortunately, people like me, maybe we won't be there to continue the discussion. So, but I'd like to thank everybody who came out to really lecture. I love one thing I love about AAC people and Omoyele Shore supporters is that we are very, very sound. We shoot very straight, okay, and we think very deep. We go behind and we pull out things that shock people. I think we must continue. We are a very rare breed, and we are an endangered species. We don't do the big crowd thing. We don't deal with quantity, we deal with quality and nothing. We're not moved by anything. We where you see us today standing is where we'll be standing tomorrow. Okay. You can be like if Shore goes to an interview and they ask him a question, you already know what is going to be his answer. You already know that if you come back so many years later, he'll still be there. And that is what inspires all of us. Now, on behalf of everybody who has helped us, on behalf of my co-host, Dola Ido, who passed out on me. I want to thank all of you for participating in this space. HO, I'll go coach you on how to do this thing. I'm coming back to coach you. I see you calling. But I'll see you guys. Everybody take care. Bye-bye.